closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen, and we are here with Shirley Rosario, the Poker Babe, for her last night at Live at the Bike. But you're going to be coming back periodically, right?
Once in a while to get some.
Especially if we get that window expanded and we do some Omaha,
Oh,
right?
Omaha, for sure.
Yeah. Well, tonight, Tuesday, we're going to be doing 300 to 500 no limit hold'em, and the blinds are 5 and 5 in this game. And this is a game where pretty much everybody knows the players that play in the game.
Right.
It's probably the game that we get the biggest board for because some of these guys at the mid no limit like to watch the show, grind it out. So it can be an interesting show.
Right.
If we get some loose play. So without further ado, let's get to the action, and we're going to go around and introduce the table.
Okay, in seat number 1, we have Gus.
There he is.
In seat 2, we have Walt. Seat 3, we have...
That's actually Alan in seat 2.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my fault. Alan in seat 2.
Yeah.
Walt in seat 3. He'll be sitting down in a second. And Sylvester in seat 4.
Yeah.
Sean Nazari in seat 5. It's a new player for me. Chris Burton in seat 6.
Yep.
John Manos in seat 7. Jim Burns in seat 8. And David rounding out the table.
Now, David Kelsey, we want to thank him because he actually got us some bottles of wine here for New Year's.
For a New Year present.
Thank you very much. I know he's a big fan of the show. I'm actually glad that we're doing this show tonight so that, sometimes when we have a lot of slow time in between hands, we can get into more of what you're going to be doing in the future and what your plans are, as opposed to, say, a Wednesday where
the action's crazy.
Yeah, we're kind of focused on the table.
Right.
So we are playing 5 and 5. Oh, look at that. We got I think that's from Alan over there.
Yeah,
Shirley,
that's so nice.
Miss you. Poker.
And then he plugs my website for me. How
there
sweet.
you go. So this game is a 300 to 500 no limit hold'em game. You can buy in for 300 up to 500. It's a restricted buy-in no limit game. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The blinds are 5 and 5.
Right. And
the button over here is in seat 6, and we're going to get into the first hand of the night. You can email us at liveatthebike.com. You can also go to our website, liveatthebike.com, spelled out. Click on a link to 2+2, where a live thread is held every night, as well as Daniel Negreanu's site, Full Contact Poker. So let's do this thing.
Yeah, I saw that they started an official thread.
And they've actually been doing a thread
so.
for a long time.
Right.
We
now
didn't
they
really
made
know
one.
it.
Yeah. Official.
So we got a King-Queen offsuit over here in seat 5. Limp, couple limpers here. Jack 9 from up front in seat 1. Seat 4's got a Jack 8 of clubs. And we got 5-way action here. It's a $25 pot. Jack, deuce 3, all hearts. Look at Jim over there. He's flopped the flush. Now, Sean's got the king high flush draw. And we don't have the seat numbers up there. I don't.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
We normally
we're going to get those up there. It's a little, we had a bet there by Jim, so this is going to be a little bit difficult to follow the first hand here because I'm not well, Jim is in seat 8.
Right.
I think he bet out.
Right, and he's gotten called in 2 spots.
Yep, he got called by Sean, and he got called by seat 1, Gus, I believe. Turns an ace, and Jim still has... And he's going to check the flush here on the turn. And now Gus is going to bet here on the jack. So we have only Gus, Jim, and Sean in the hand here. Sylvester and John are out of the hand. Gus has bet $60 here with Jack 9, second pair in the 9 high flush draw. Sean's going to call, and do you think that Jim is going to check raise push here?
I would think that's what he's going to do. I would hope that's what he's going to do. He
and there it is.
Yeah,
he's going to raise. Looks like he's making it 200.
200, which is about the same thing probably in this game.
And Gus is a pretty tight player. I can't imagine he's going to call. Now, Sean has a straight draw as well, even though we know it doesn't matter because he's up against a made flush. But he doesn't necessarily know that right now.
Right, and he is live on his hearts, but that's a big raise. I don't think he's going to call.
It's 200 here, more to call. And he's going to fold it. And Jim is going to take it down there. There it is. And he shows it. Shows the flush. And there it is. Well, you know, the other thing, too, is Dave Tuckman's going to do an hour with you here around 7:15.
Right.
And I'm going to hop out, and you're going to have a chance to do it with him for some time. Now, you sent me an email over Christmas break saying that you were kind of going in another direction and that you weren't going to be propping anymore at the bike or doing the show. And then I saw that you had posted some things on your in your journal on your website with regards to that. I would have to think, and correct me if I'm wrong, probably a big influence on that is the upcoming LA Poker Classic tournament in January.
That did coincide. I mean, that was part of the reason, because I figured out if I was going to start it, then I should start it with, hometown advantage and start then. It has been something that I've been contemplating for a little while. It's just kind of everything came together at this time for me, and I decided it was the best move.
Four-way action here. It was limped around. There we go. The numbers. We got Queen 10 Jack. Gus's flop bottom. Actually, that's Queen 8 Jack. And David has bet here 15 with Queen 9. Gus has called him with second pair and a gut shot. And we're heads up now. Turn is a 3. David also has a gut shot. They're sharing each other's cards for the gut shot. David checks now with the Queen 9. Gus is going to check right behind him. The river's an 8 and Queen 9 is good here. And Gus is going to put a little blocker / value bet in there, and he's going to get
paid by Gus.
He's going to get called there. And he takes it down. So there it is. I'm getting word at some point throughout the night here we're going to be doing an interview with Tim Fan.
Right. He's in the house playing the mixed game, the big mixed game.
Yeah. You know, I don't see a thread here that started on 2+2 yet, Shirley. My God.
They're late.
I know. We might have to
That's a surprise.
look over there at Full Contact Poker and see if they're on the ball.
They're usually commenting on us being late.
Yeah, exactly. Buttons over there in seat number 8. And we got an ace-jack here in the small blind for David Kelsey.
Now you take shot of it. That was you.
And looks like it's going to get chopped up.
You chopped ace-jack? So nice.
So there it is. I'm going to chop it up. So you're going to be basically concentrating more on, obviously, tournaments and your website. And I assume, playing some internet Omaha?
Playing online, right.
Yeah.
It's not even so much concentrating solely on tournaments. I mean, tournaments is just one of the things I'll be doing.
Right.
There's really like 4 ways that I make my money. Well, now I'm going to be making my money because I'm no longer here. One, my website, which is very successful. I do well on that. And then playing online, which, I do well on that. And then the tournaments, I've always been a small money maker in tournaments. The variance is so much higher in tournaments, but I do make a profit on it. And so I figured, go ahead and do it. And if I can make a little bit, that's going to be fine. And if I can make a big score, that's going to be wonderful.
Well, the funny thing, the way that I would look at it, I'll tell you this, the way I would look at it if I were you, is, I think you said it right, it's really difficult if you don't have any extra money coming in. If you're just going to play straight tournaments and the poker boom wasn't there and there was no possibility of endorsements and any other thing, it's really difficult to just make a living off of straight tournament earnings.
Living, right.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, obviously you're an attractive woman, you have a website, most of the pros know who you are anyways, and there's always opportunities for you to enter specifically female events that sometimes get televised. You get a real shot of being known well, and then, the sponsorship rolls around. I look at Evelyn A. She finished second in the inaugural ladies event here at the bike. And, she's had some other tournament places, but she hasn't won anything. And look where she's at.
She's gotten a lot of publicity.
She's got a PokerStars sponsorship, right? Doesn't she?
She is part of the PokerStars team, Team PokerStars. Yeah.
4-way action limped around here. Walt got top 2 pair, and he's going to bet 15 here with the King 4. And look at this, Alan.
Alan's going to call one off. He has the ace of diamonds and a gut shot.
He doesn't improve. And Walt is going to continue to fire here.
And that's probably it.
Yeah. Most of these players are pretty solid on the table. I think the only person I don't know is...
Well, there's a couple of them that I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, we know Gus in seat 1, Alan, Walt,
Right,
Sylvester.
and David.
Yeah.
The other few, seat 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with. You might be because you do the show a little bit more than I do. Actually, a lot more.
Oh, here we got a
I do.
thread now. Started by Kev Math. So how many events do you plan? I mean, this is a question that's, I guess, for 6 months from now. Do you really plan on, like, being at the World Series the whole time and playing in most of the events?
Last year I played 10. I believe it was 10. It might have been 11 events. This year I will play more than that. But there's some games I just am not interested in playing.
Yeah.
You know, Limit Hold'em tournaments is just absolute torture to me.
Right.
I like Limit Hold'em live action games or online ring games, but for some reason I have a hard time in the tournaments just staying focused on stuff. It just seems to drag. So
Yeah.
I won't be playing the Limit.
Now, we had a raise here by Sean, and John made it $60 re-raise with pocket jacks. Well, Sean's open-ended here, right? 10,
Yes.
9, 4. Sean's going to check, and John's going to bet with the overpair. He's going to bet 100. And again, most of these players are pretty solid. I wouldn't imagine we're going to see a lot of multi-way pots here tonight. So obviously, if you want to ask anything, you know, to Shirley, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. I'm sure she'll take your questions.
Yes. That's
No, Sean's just going to get away from it. I mean, he's got an open-ended straight draw there with a couple of overcards.
So I didn't mention the last thing that, you know, I plan on doing is, of course, playing casino poker. So
Okay.
I'll be stopping in here and
Yeah.
playing and trying to stop in and do some commentary
Well, you know,
every now and
we
then.
never like to pump the other casino around town, but you know that last year I had an extremely successful run. It actually was a good portion of my bankroll this year, playing 8 nights of basically 40-80 limit Omaha.
Right.
That game kind of follows around the WPT circuit. There aren't a lot of high-level limit Omaha games that you can play live, but some special games that, you know, will follow around the tournament circuit. And that game is
I remember
spread.
you playing that last year and making a killing on it.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I'm not necessarily going to get probably a chance to really do that this year because of the show, and I'm a little bit burnt out. I'm not going to get here at 1 and then play till 7 in the morning and come back at 1.
Right.
It's just really, it's difficult sometimes.
But once in a while, maybe.
Maybe. I'll be over there a couple of times. 10, 5, 6 here with a couple of clubs.
We have a bet from Alan.
He's
That's
betting.
15.
Yeah, he's going to bet into an open-ended straight draw. Bets 15 here. And Gus has got ace high with the ace of clubs. I don't know what he's thinking about here. Again, we're not going to see a lot of multi-way action.
No.
Pots
With
here.
these players, we have a tendency not to see a lot of action.
Now look at this. I think that Dave Tuckman has Tim Fan over there.
Yeah.
And in a couple of moments, we're going to go over there. So here we go, Dave.
Oh, thanks a lot, man.
Take it away.
Pointed the other way. Or the Bicycle Casino with poker superstar Tim Fan. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good, good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
So, just out of curiosity, how does a poker superstar spend his New Year?
Well, my situation, I spent with the wife and kids.
With the wife and kids. Okay.
Yeah.
That always works. That's a nice.
It's fine with
way.
me, yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
So, 05 was a pretty good year for you. I mean, 4th place in the Legends of Tournament, Legends of Poker. 24th place in the World Series main event, and out on a bad beat, of course.
Yeah.
So, how do you think about 05?
05, it wasn't totally disappointing, but it wasn't really that great.
No.
And especially after they air it over and over and over again. It's really not that great, but I still made money, so
Right.
I'm still around. It's okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it comes with the territory. If you're going to be a poker superstar and you get knocked out, you're going to be on TV.
Yeah, evidently, yeah.
Right. So what can we expect you from in 06?
Hopefully I can fare well in the major events. I'm not going to play as many events this year as last year because, you know, I got another son on the way, so lock me down, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and hopefully I'll play like 15 events this year.
15 events.
Yeah,
Concentrate more on the cash games?
right. But because I'm limited time for the traveling and all such as poker is nowadays, it takes up a lot of time. So concentrate on 15 big events and hopefully, you know, show in 1 or 2 of them.
Right.
Maybe first or second. If I come in first or second, it's a successful year.
Okay. When's your son due?
February 19th, right at the main event of the Commerce.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good start to 06.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay. Well, good luck in 06.
All right, thanks a lot.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Well, hey, there's Dave.
That
Well,
was a
thanks
nice
a lot. Thanks a lot, Dave. Tim
I
Fanny's-
like Tim Fan.
Yeah,
he's
up-
just such a
definitely
class
up-
act.
One of the up-and-coming stars.
I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more
Absolutely.
of him.
And it's funny, because a lot of these guys that you see play tournaments, and then people think, oh, this guy's a tournament player. It's not, most of the time it's not necessarily the case. And these guys really pick and choose that they're going to play in the tournaments that get them the most TV exposure. I know that Phil Locke and some other players didn't play in the World Series events that weren't going to be televised. That's how
Right.
they chose.
Right.
Now we have a $15 raise here by seat 7 with King 7. And Pocket 9's just calls in seat 8. More heads up. And we got a set of 9s, and John's hit top pair here. And Jim is going to check his set, and John's going to bet 20. Little under the size of the pot. And let's see what Pocket 9s is going to do here. How do you want to play this one out of position? It's kind of a connected board here, Shirley. Couple of spades.
Possible
He's
straight there.
He's going to mini raise it up to 40, and John is going to call. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a jack. Wow. Boy, scary card for both players, I guess. Let's see how Jim's going to play this one. He's going to bet 75 here. He's going to bet 75 into a pot that's about $110. And looks like John's heading for...
Yeah, it looks like John's not happy, but
higher
that was a
ground.
good card for him. He
Yeah.
didn't lose as much money because
There
of
it
it.
is. And Jim is going to take it down now. So you don't play in the limit hold'em events. Tournaments, that's what I meant. You don't play in stud high. And you don't really
Right.
play in any stud events, do you?
No.
No.
I mean, I might
Although I think
start
that
playing stud high-low here and there,
especially,
but
I was going to say, especially with your Omaha background, I don't think it takes that much to adjust
right.
to stud high-low.
Well, I have played a little bit of stud high-low, but I mean, it's very minimal.
Right.
So I would definitely have to hone my skills on that game before I jumped into an event.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the big tournament that's coming up, there's so many no limit and
of
Omaha
course.
events that it's really not necessary. Plus, I like to have a day in between, I mean, I'm not, I have to have rest.
Right. Limped around here. 4-way action here. $20 pot. King, Queen, Jack. And David's got top pair here with King 8. He's going to check. And Gus. We got a bet here by seat number 7. John, deuce 5. And I think he said he has deuce 5. And a call. Call here.
Yeah, got a backdoor flush draw.
Well, did David Kelsey get rid of that there? Yeah, he made the call. Let's see here. No, he didn't make the call. Got rid of King 8. Well, kind of a scary board there for King 8.
Yeah, not
So-
really the kind of flop you're looking
No.
for.
Why'd you ask him if you want to play?
Oh boy, now we got a real action player coming into the game. Seat 6. Tony.
Oh, yay. I'll tighten up the game.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Phil Lack earlier on today, and I forgot to tell you that I did get an email from him after the show, our last show together, which was a week and a half ago. He ended up pulling out a win that night. Remember, he was stuck $20,000. He said he ended up getting it back. Plus, he ended up winning $3,000 after the cameras went off. So.
I thought that he really played an interesting style that night, and it's not necessarily one that we've always, kind of been a proponent of. It seemed as if, at least that night, that he was playing to win a couple of big pots. And that's basically what his style was. And
I'm not sure what he was thinking that night, and I hope that that's not how he plays the 3 hours that we saw him on a regular basis. I thought that he played a little passive.
Right.
He did make some calls. I mean, even though he did have the best hand, there were sometimes, on the Jack King, he did make the call. He did have the best hand. But, when I'm playing King Jack, like I told you that night, I go, you're not really looking to hit a king. And he didn't. He had a Jack, but I was surprised at the way that he played some of his hands.
Well, Alan put a bluff bet out there on the turn. Tony called, and now Alan's going to bet again. And if Tony called the turn, I don't know if the ace changes anything. Would it be more likely that he's going to call here on the river if he thought his hand was good here on the turn?
He thought his hand was good.
It's a $35 bet. And Tony calls. 5-10. Tony's going to take it down. It was interesting. David and I got into this discussion after the broadcast. If you're a guy with a lot of money, can you play that style where you can almost the opposite of, I guess, the way that Doyle Brunson preached with winning a lot of small plots? Because you have so much money and you don't necessarily have a limited bankroll, can you just pretty much just wait for the nuts and just try to win big pots off these guys that don't necessarily realize or are watching the fact that you're only playing to win big pots? Because a couple of times, again, I mean, the hand that really...
The limping with the hands like the queens.
Well, the limping with the hands like the queens,
really strange.
And then getting erased by the small blind and then just calling.
And then just flat calling.
Yeah, that seems to me like that's how he was trying to play the hands. Now Tony's going to raise here to $50. He's got ace-king. We're playing 5 and 5 blinds.
He cannot get a massage. He cannot get a massage. He can. You can.
So Tony, he really does bring in premium hands and big raises.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times the reason why he does that is because people will call him. I don't necessarily know if anyone's going to call him here on this table. But
No, this table's a little tighter than most.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that most of these players know how Tony plays. I mean, if he comes in for a raise for that much money, I'm not playing with him unless I have a premium hand.
yeah.
So,
So he's going to take it down with the ace-king.
but I think when you're playing no limit, those small pots are important. You do want to look for a big pot where you can hit a home run and maybe get somebody, get somebody's chips. That's ideal. But you also have to pick up your fair share of small pots and blinds and antes or not antes, blinds when you can.
Yeah.
All those small pots add up.
Absolutely. Button is over here in seat 2.
It's not easy. It's not hard, guys. It's not.
And Dave Tuckman's going to come in and tell me if I asked him to go out and ask Yosh. I didn't get a chance to see if Phil was planning to be here tomorrow, so we'll get that information. But it seems like that's a very popular game now on Wednesdays here.
All right, Dylan, can you put
We got a raise here by seat 8 to 20. He's got ace 10 offsuit, and he's going to get called here. 5 spots. We got a $100 pot. Tony's got pocket 5s. He made a limp call, and Jim has hit top pair here with ace 10.
That's middle cut.
So it's actually it's an $80 pot. Let's see how much he's going to bet.
Bet 50?
He's going to bet 50.
You have a barrier?
David Kelsey's going to fold here the overcards.
How big is your bigger?
Sylvester's not going to get involved with his gut shot. And Tony's going to get into some trouble here. Again, these are really tough hands to play out of position. If you think the guy might just have high cards here, it's a spade on the turn.
Well, maybe he's playing to take it away here on the turn.
Well, he doesn't. It goes check, check. And the river is an 8, and Tony checks again. And I got to tell you, if Tony checked it to me twice, I might value bet there with the ace 10 on the river, although, you always put your stack at risk. But against Tony, he's not going to check raise me on the river unless he's got me beat there, so it would be an easy fold. Yeah, you're right. Tony could almost represent spades there, come out and fire on the turn.
Well, he has a tight reputation. He calls there. He can take a lot of pots away, I'm sure, on the turn. I'm very surprised that he just called and gave up, especially when another spade came out.
Yep. Look at this. Post on 2+2 by Young One. Shirley, good luck in the tournament circuit. Don't forget to thank Bart, David, and your fans at Live the Bike when you're raking in the big money.
Of course.
Well, there you go.
Of course.
Button is over here in seat 3. Do you think that you have an inherent advantage in terms of gathering endorsement dollars because you're, a female poker player? Just because there's so much, it's in the minority, right?
Yeah,
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well,
I don't think.
I don't know how to answer that, but yes, I do. I think that a successful woman, or even in some cases semi-successful women, have the ability to get deals where a man might not.
Now, we had a raise here by John, I believe, with pocket 9s. He got called in a couple of spots. $25 raise, so it's a $75 pot going 3 ways. And Tony's hit an ace. And he checked it. John's going to bet here with only 1 overcard on the board.
You wouldn't make me get another massage, right?
Gus is going to get rid of the king queen. Let's see how Tony's going to call. And at this point, because we know Tony so well, you almost have to put him on an ace.
Right.
I guess unless he had some sort of straight draw, but I just don't see it.
No.
Turns a deuce. He's going to bet 30 and Tony calls. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad bet by John. Just, you know, he's going to show it down here.
I actually disagree with you.
You think he should have checked and taken a card?
Well, I mean, we saw Tony call earlier with, you know, second pair when the board was, no, third pair. It was like ace, jack, 9, and he had the 9.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Tony's going to make a call there. I mean, if he bets on the flop, he has something he's going to call with on the turn.
I just sometimes think I'm going to put a small bet in there just in case.
Tony has like a
He's
smaller
on a straight
pair.
draw.
Okay.
So I'm betting on the turn so I can get a free showdown at the river. Now, the only thing about that, though, is I guess against a guy who's really as passive as Tony, you actually might be able to check there on the turn because you're not really worried that he's going to bet the river unless he has it. He's not the type of guy that, you know, is betting to because you check the turn. So I think you could play it a number of different ways. But against an aggressive player, I might bet there on the turn so I don't have to face a big bet on the river if I check the turn.
Right.
So. And a lot of times, actually, you know, and I've seen it, and we used to say, boy, and I'll get to this after this hand, sometimes we're like, boy, this is ludicrous that this guy isn't betting on the turn with top pair and good kicker. We've seen Avo check hands like that on the turn all the time. And
Avo's from the Whale game on Wednesday night.
We've got four-way action here. Jack 3-8 with a couple of spades. That's actually a technique to control the size of the pot sometimes, too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're playing against a Kenny Berg who you think, like, geez, you know, do I want to put a bet in here and commit? Because he's always trapping me. I don't really know what he's going to call with. Or do I want to check the turn and just, you know, have him bet into me a little bit on the river and just call? It's a way of controlling the pot sometimes. Right. Turns a 9 here. John called with an open-ended straight draw. And he now has the best hand here. And Sean is bluffing at it. He's been firing in on the flop and on the turn. The river's a 6. And now Sean is just going to check it down. The other thing, too, is we've seen guys who've actually had strong hands. I think Mark Safe did it once. You know, he had a strong hand on the turn, and he's not necessarily committed to it. You know, if you're good enough to be able to give a free card on the turn and get away from a scary card on the river, you know, it might be a way of inducing a bluff. But, again, you have to take into consideration the player.
Right.
You know,
and that was the one hand that I think that the two of us had the most difficulty commentating on because we couldn't figure out why he did that. And then I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to him about it after. And it was a great move on his part because he did get the person to bluff into him, and he did get a check raise in there and really achieve the maximum value on that.
He got a raise on the river.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, by Allen. Now we have a $35 raise here by seat 1. Seat 2 is going to call. This Queen Jack raise. Seat 2 calls with 8-10 of diamonds. And one of the blinds here has got, or seat 5's got a Jack 10 of spades he calls. And seat 7 is in there with 9-10 of clubs. A lot of suited connectors here.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, four-way action.
Wow.
Wow,
look at
Jack
that. Open
6-9.
it, straight flush draw.
Look at
Isn't it?
And I don't think...
I'm having a hard time seeing that flop.
Allen actually has 8-10 of diamonds.
I was thinking that was a 9 on the flop.
Yeah, there we go.
He has 8-10 and the flop is Jack 9.
Yep. And Gus has hit top pair, and he's going to bet. He was the pre-flop raiser. It's an $80 pot. He's going to bet 75. And let's see what Allen's going to do here. Open-ended straight flush draw. Look at Sean over there. He's got top pair, too.
Allen doesn't have that many chips. I mean, you have stated chips in there.
No. When you see my hand, you can understand it's like I can gamble.
Yeah, I can't.
How much is in this pot
Well,
before that bet?
Well, the pot's now $155 total. It's a $75 bet into an $80 pot, so it's $155 now. And there you go. He's going to put the rest in, all in. We'll see how much more it is. That looks like 100, 125.
140.
120, okay. So this is the dealer. So it's an additional 45 more. And I don't know if you want to take this to a bet and a raise here, Jack 10. Sean gets out of the way. And Allen is a favorite here with 2 cards to come. Slight favorite here, right? He's got an open-ended straight flush draw against 1 pair. He's got... It almost might even be 50-50 now that Gus has got the queen in his hand, one of the queens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's close. Obviously, Gus is going to call. So Gus makes the call, and Allen's on a draw here. And the pot's going to be, boy, almost about $400. Here we go to the turn. Turn to 7. Allen's got the straight. And the river is a king. And Allen's going to take it down there. Now, the one thing I actually have to say about that hand with Mark safe, I understand what he was trying to do. And I'm glad that he explained it to you. If I was in that spot, I don't necessarily know if I would have done that against Allen. Just saying against the player. I don't know how familiar Mark is with Allen.
Right.
Because, again, if you're going to make that play, Allen is not the type of player that's going to automatically bet with top pair, weak kicker on the river just because you check the turn.
Right.
Against an aggressive player, I think it's a great play. So it's just something to throw out there.
Right.
No, in that case, Allen actually had like 2 pairs.
I think he had 2 pairs.
Smaller 2 pairs,
right.
So it was great. You know, it happened to be a great situation. Because Allen was betting on the river thinking that he had the best hand, obviously.
Right.
But I've never seen Allen really make a, just like a bluff bet, after somebody checked the turn.
It's been so long since we did that show, but there was a reason why he thought he could get those chips from Allen, and I'm pretty sure that
basically the
he
situation
had put him on 2 pair because of the raise pre-flop and the way that the action had come down. He had put him on, he had given me 3 hands that were a possibility. And basically, he thought he was going to get
Basically,
called.
the way the hand that came out is Mark had top 2 pair, and Allen had, like, bottom 2. But the flop was very, very connected.
Coordinated.
Like, it was couple spades, straight
it was
draws
like
out
King,
there.
Jack 10 or something like
Mark
that.
bet the flop. Actually, I think Allen might check raise the flop. Or he showed some strength on the flop. And I think actually Allen bet the flop, and Mark raised, and Allen called, and then it went check, check. And
Check,
that's
check,
why.
right.
Flop comes out here 8-7-6. It was limped around. Gus is going to bet 20 here with the jack of diamonds. And did the ace of diamonds muck over there?
That's what it looks like.
Wow. Turns a 3.
But the king stayed in.
Somebody had the ace of diamonds in that hand.
Yeah, I saw that.
Checked around here, it looks like. And no one has a pair here yet. And the river's a deuce. And Sean's got the best hand now.
But Sean had the best hand the whole time.
But John is going to bet. He's going to bet as a bluff. He's representing a diamond that he doesn't have. I like the idea. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do it against 2 opponents. What do you think these guys called with on the flop? Well, Gus calls, and Sean's probably just going to overcall here, and he does. And the king of diamonds is good. And again, whoever mucked that ace, that's interesting, because we would have had the ace high flush, the king high flush, and the jack high flush.
Was it seat 2? Seat 4, Sylvester.
Wow, maybe Sylvester was involved with something else.
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention.
Surprised. Sean's going to take it down there. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
And you're first to show on the river. What should you do? And he said I would just turn my cards over. And that's the wrong answer. I'll tell you why when he...
And Button moves over there to seat 7. Pocket 10s here for Walter. You can see his style here. He just limps in. Pocket
Walter
9s.
played a very tight game of what we've seen on Live at the Bike.
Pocket 9s over here for Gus in seat 1. He's in the big blind. He might raise here out of the big blind. It looks like he's going to raise.
He raised 20.
He's going to make it 20 to go.
There was a kid who bought the jackpot here. It was 70,000.
Walt's going to call. John's going to call with a connected jack 10 offsuit. And here we go. 3-way action. About a $60 pot. Gus is the pre-flop raiser. Now, really interesting to see how Walter's going to play this if Gus fires out. No, he's going to check with 1 overcard. Queen 4-3, and Walter's going to bet now. I want to see what happened if Gus actually came out and fired there, what Walt would have done. $65 bet here by Walt, and Gus folds.
So did we talk about those quarter chips? Because I see Walter has some.
He's got a quarter chip?
The $25 chips up there.
Oh, the purple ones.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Quarter
about like 25-cent chips. Like, what?
Oh, no.
Yeah, the purple chips are $25.
$25, right.
You don't usually
And he
see
hasn't,
those.
no, but he has got a few.
And then a couple of little metal coin card protectors.
Yeah, those are from his bridge championship.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a game I never learned how to play.
I don't know how to play it either, but he is very
Evolve.
into it. Used to play in tournaments and stuff like that. Have some success with it.
Or Junior, man. He's giving away a free massage.
Okay.
We got a $15 raise here by seed 8. He's got 3-5 offsuit, and that's David Kelsey. Alan has got a call here. Three-way action.
Me too. But I'm mean.
Pot's about $45 here. 957. Rainbow. Remember, David was the pre-flop raiser. Gus is going to come out and lead.
Raise, make it 45.
Wow,
And
Alan
Alan's
put in
going to
a
raise with a gut shot. David Kelsey's quickly out of the hands. I think Gus might fold here, too.
No.
Let's see here.
He's pretending he's got 6-8-2.
Well, Gus also has a gut shot.
No, the saddest part is, first time he still had your beat, even though he doesn't have a straight.
Look at that. Gus has got the Longhorns hat on there in seat 1. Tomorrow night's game. I mean, what is he doing wearing that hat in this area? Are you kidding me?
He does have one of those 6 and 8.
Jeez.
The other card?
I mean, we are in L.A.
What hat is it?
Texas. Texas, of course, is playing national championship college football against
Okay.
USC.
I got better than that.
And Gus is still thinking about this one.
All right. Bless you.
And he's going to let go of it. And Allen takes it down there with the semi-bluff.
He showed a 6. Yeah, he showed a 6, right?
And there it is.
He showed a 6.
So,
I had to do the last one.
do you know how, like, and I asked you this last year, and I think you only got word of it a couple weeks before. How do they pick who's going to be in the ladies' event next year here?
Well,
Can you
I mean,
lobby Steve Lipscomb in some way?
I believe it.
Steve has pulled himself out of the decision
Oh, really?
making. Yes, and he
From
did
since last
year
year, too?
He didn't do it last year neither. Well, we know 2 seats are locked up. One for the returning champion and one for the woman who wins their seats here.
The wins the ladies
Right, and
tournament
then
here.
it's for other women who they
Yeah.
think. And I'm not exactly sure who makes the decision. I know Steve made the decision the first time around, but last year he said forget it.
I checked.
6-way action here. King deuce, king deuce, all diamonds.
Bet 25.
$25 bet here by Gus. He's got top and bottom.
Hey, tell Kevin.
And Walt is going to call here. Excuse me, Sean there with the queen high flush draw, second nut flush draw. And we're heads up. Turn is an 8.
Kevin, feet open.
And Gus looks like he's going to lead here again.
No.
That's 55. Well, Sean has a straight draw here too, but you know he was open-ended with the diamond draw, so he actually can catch an ace, a 9, or a diamond here.
I don't know you. I never played.
And with this, this big of a draw, we sometimes preach that you can really put a raise here on the turn. You don't necessarily know.
Yeah, but not with 3 diamonds out there. I mean, you don't know if he could be drawn, real slim. Like his straight might not even be good.
River here is a 4. And he checks, and Gus is going to bet again. And Sean missed everything.
85.
And I'm sure that Sean's going to get away from the hand here. Well, last year's Ladies' Night was kind of almost like a theme. I mean, it was...
Right. It was the girlfriends.
Yeah.
Or the
girlfriends
wives.
and
Yeah.
wives. And funny enough, Karina Jett almost won, too. Kind of fitting
She almost
into the...
won,
yeah,
right, the one here.
Right.
The one where we actually bought in, and it was like 300 women.
Right.
I think she made a top 20. I don't think she made it to the final table, did she?
I thought that she made it. She finished third, and she got a really bad beat by the.
Oh,
woman.
she might have. She might have. I don't know for sure.
But it's interesting because you would think that she would have been, if they were going to go with that theme, she was going to be a candidate to be on there, right? Isn't Chip Jett somewhat of a non-poker player?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, right?
I know who Chip Jett is.
Yeah, I mean, he might not be like a household name, but he's definitely been on TV a fair
Well,
share.
you know, I mean, Jennifer Taylor's like a no-brainer. After she won the ladies event,
Well,
she
and
still
she's
lacks
also-
girlfriend,
yeah.
and she's a movie star.
Right.
I mean, that's a given. And I think they actually did pretty good. I think they chose women that were good for television. And
Well, let's say, Marsha Wagner, Kenna James's wife, as opposed to Karina Jett. That decision. I think we got pocket aces over here in seat 3.
But you also have to put a variety of women. You know, you have to have a little bit of mixture in there. I think you can't have all between, well, you can, between 20 and 30-year-olds.
$20 raise here by Walt with aces out of the blind. King 5-7. Walt checked it.
Oh, now
look
Walter's
at this.
got himself in trouble.
He gave him a free card, and John's hit a set here. John checked right behind Walt. And let's see what John's going to do here.
Raise at 30.
And he's going to mini raise here.
Yes, he is.
And this is going to be an interesting situation here for Walt. I think he was trying to play a check raise on the flop, gave a free card out. John spiked it on the turn.
Now, does Walter have it in him to lay this hand down? With that mini raise, is that mini raise suspicious enough to make him think that, okay, this guy might have a straight, this guy might have a set?
I mean, this would be an unbelievable laydown.
It would be.
You have to also look at, the
he's
type of
contemplating.
player. Can this guy make a mini raise with just a draw here, or a pair and a draw?
Mm-hmm.
It's just 30
If you
more.
had a pair and a draw, say if you had king 6 of clubs or king with a 6 of clubs, wouldn't you make a bigger raise than a mini raise?
Look at this. Did Walter come back over the
Yes,
top
he did.
here? There it is. He's going to come back over the top for 150. Well, now if John shows strength here,
And they'll pull that in, and we'll see how much more. And,
and
I
he's
think
gonna make
Walter
the call.
will get his answer.
first of all, there's no way that a guy can get away from a set of 4s when the stacks are only this deep.
No.
Because you could think that maybe the guy checked a set of kings. But he just calls. And the river here is an 8. And that might be a little bit of an action
Yes,
killer.
it is. And that's it. No more betting.
Wow, John's not going to bet either. Maybe he thought that Walter might have had a set of kings there. I don't know, but that's a pretty tight play. I mean, at that point, if I have a set of 4s on the turn, I mean, that would be, again, one hell of a laydown for Walter to make if I push all in for, say, 300, when it was only 100. Walter's going to raise me 150, and I move in for 300, and now the pot's like 700, and he almost got 150 to call. There's no way.
I think Walter would make that laydown.
Really? A
Knowing
$700
knowing
pot,
Walter,
150 more?
You put in $30, the guy makes a mini raise, you put in another raise, and the guy moves in over the top of you, you know that you're beat. The guy puts a mini raise and comes over the top of you.
Make it 20.
I think, knowing Walter, he makes the laydown.
Well, again, I think it's an issue of range of hands.
But the guy didn't get any money on the river, so, I mean, it
Didn't
actually
matter.
kind of, yeah.
Call 15 more, sir?
Pocket 9s here, Queen Jack suited, Ace Queen, and 10-7 of diamonds.
15 more.
And we had a $15 raise here, I believe, by John with Ace Queen. Allen calls. Tony's going to call, and Sean's going to call. $60 pot. King 6-7. Look at this. Tony's got a flush draw and a pair. And he looks, actually, Sean has the best hand here with pocket 9s.
Check around.
And it's going to get checked around here, and now Tony has a flush.
Yes, sir.
Let's see how Tony's going to play it here. Sean's going to check pocket 9s.
15.
Tony's going to bet $15 here. Well, John has got second nut draw. He's going to call.
15? Yes, sir.
And, boy, I don't know if Sean wants to get involved. He's going to call with pocket 9s. And here we go to the river. The river's a 10.
Check.
So Tony's made 2 pair and a flush. Pots, I want to say maybe about 90 bucks here. I don't think he's going to get called here by anything, but you'd imagine he's going to value bet
Well,
his
he's
flush.
going to put some kind of bet in there.
Yeah.
40.
He bets 40. Look,
I know.
pretty small bet here.
Got one fold.
And again, if I ever saw Tony make small little bluffs like that, you might, very, very once in a blue moon call here, thinking that he's just bluffing. But he never makes bluffs like this. It's really easy to put
Not
him on
from
the
what
hand.
we've seen.
Yeah. There's no way.
I show you a pair. I make 2 pairs. Okay, let me see the first. This is a pair. 2 pairs.
And he shows a 7.
Father Mohan is a diamond. I'm dying. I'm not
Two
ready.
pair, two pair.
Let me see. Let me see.
Two pair. If I don't have two
Let
pair,
me see. Let me see.
two pair.
I told you.
Oh, there it is.
I know.
I think Sean laid it down.
Diamond too.
Did I
Yes,
just
he
hear correctly in my ear
What's that? I
that
didn't hear.
we had a new player coming into seat 9? Kenna James.
All right. He can't stay long.
He's coming here for her final show. Look at this Jive Dadson. We haven't seen him post on, on 2+2
I
here in
know. Well, you see that?
months.
He doesn't want me to leave.
Yeah.
He had sent me a message a couple weeks ago saying that he would like me to do it more. So I was honored. Kenna.
There he is. Is that
That is a bright shirt.
Aussie Millions shirt? Vest and yeah, a big red shirt. Interesting to see.
Check, I say.
How about you? Big fan of Live Button.
Two players. Oh, chop.
Button's going to move over here to seat 4.
Can I play on voice? Can I play on voice activation?
This one's going to get chopped around.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good, thank you. We have yellow chip.
So, Kenna James, of course, was the finished second here at the Legends event.
Yes, last year at the
When is that?
the World Poker Tour
Yeah,
main
and
event. The $5,000
they've already
buy-in.
shown. The funny thing I was telling Dave, I did not. Christmas was an interesting time for me. I was up in Maine at my parents' house. They were replaying both episodes of the WPT that they
you
did
did.
here
Mhm.
on Saturday. So I've got, my great aunt who's like 92 years old saying, "How are you here? I just saw you on TV." Sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And but they haven't done the Legends. They haven't shown Legends yet, right?
Cool. 20. Hey, Shirley.
$20 raise
Is
here.
that a camera up there?
And I guess their new season doesn't start till April. They're only showing specials.
Mhm. You hear Kenneth saying hi to me.
Yes.
Make it 60.
Yeah, I saw that. I have both those episodes recorded, and I haven't watched the championship.
Look at this. Gus raised to 20. Sylvester re-raised to 60 with Ace Jack offsuit. John's going to call with Pocket Jacks in seat 7. So it's $60 here. And actually, you know what? I think it might have been Alan that raised. I'm not sure if it was Gus or Alan that actually raised originally. Seat 1 or seat 2.
Verbally, but I'm probably just going to...
Well, regardless, Alan's going to make the call. So Sylvester has the betting lead here in this hand. And he's got the third best hand. Three-way action, $180 pot. Well, there it is. The ace comes right off here. Ace 6-6.
400 credit.
John's going to check.
Who did the 100 come from?
For me.
Oh, so you actually have 100 more in your stack.
Yeah, I have 100 more.
And Alan's going to come out with a bet here. He's just facing one overcard.
Nah, about a year ago.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
The chips come to me. He does.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just like usually a little tournament.
I don't know. He's playing
I'm 500.
He's going to bet right in here. It looks like kind of a small bet, maybe $60 or $70. $75 here. Let's see how Sylvester's going to play this one.
I'll ask him again. Kenneth, you have 500 coming?
Yes,
See if he wants to know.
500 is coming.
He's going to, looks like he's just going to call with the ace jack. He's kind of got himself on a little bit of a tight spot. I think he's going to try to use his position and see what happens here on the turn. Turns a 3, and let's see what Alan's going to do there.
Well, after you put that re-raise and get called in 2 spots, I would imagine that it's probably going through his head. I might not have the best kicker here.
And Alan's going to keep driving. He's going to bet 125 now into a $330 pot. So the pot's now 450, 125 to call, and Sylvester quickly calls again. Pot's now about 550, and the river's an 8, and Sylvester has the best hand. And what is Alan going to do now? He's just going to give up. It goes check here, I think. And ace jack is going to take down over a $500 pot. There it is.
He came, I think the whole time we beat you, he was behind the whole
Oh, it's on March 8th. This tournament here is on March 8th.
Thank you, sir.
This tournament here, the one that was here, comes on March 8th.
So Sylvester is going to take down a pot there, and we're going to see a straddle.
So, do we know why Ken is only playing 1 round? He has somewhere to be?
Button has moved over here to seat number 7.
And I believe that
It's
Kenna
actually
had
seat 6.
straddled.
Okay.
That's what it looked like.
All in.
Oh, man.
He just said all in?
And look at this. Seat 1 limped in with pocket aces, I think.
Oh, man.
I think Gus limped in with pocket aces in seat 1, and Kenna moved all in from the straddle spot. We can't even see what he has.
No, we can't.
There were 4 or 5 limpers for $10 each.
Right.
Gus had limped in with aces, and Kenna moved all in, and Gus called. And Alan, he's still thinking over there in seat 2. We don't know what he has either over there. Seat 2, Alan has cards.
Well,
He's
yeah,
got queen nine
we'll
and
find
diamonds.
it. If he calls, we'll make sure he gets that on the window.
Yeah. So Gus played the limp re-raise here, basically in the under the gun spot of the straddler. And Kenna is pretty much going to probably piss away $500 here unless he gets lucky.
How much did he buy in for? Because he doesn't have that many
500.
chips in front of him.
He's 500 behind.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sure.
So
Well, that's it. That's a drag. Hopefully Gus doesn't have too many
I'll
chips
tell you
for
the
Gus.
reason I went in. I'll tell you.
So we got to see how much Gus has here. Yeah, Kenna James, he's got his initials.
Oh, okay.
Gus looks like he's got maybe
He
200 or
has quite a
300
bit,
here.
yeah.
Well, here we're going to see the flop here. Wow, Jack in the door there. Kenna needs a king or a jack here. Turns a deuce. Kenna needs a king or a jack. Here we go to the river. Oh, Jack! River's a jack! Oh, wow!
Oh, my.
There it is.
He does it with mirrors.
Oh, that's a tough beat for Gus.
Oh, man. The Gus going to go bust there.
Yes, he is.
Unbelievable. Well,
Gus takes it pretty good, though.
it serves him right for wearing a Longhorns hat
Oh,
in
Scott.
L.A. Are you kidding me? Is this guy some sort of joker? Wow. Gus said he thought that
So,
Kenna was going
yeah.
to push all in.
I just get it.
So did we get word that Kenna was only going to play 1 round?
That's what I heard, yes.
Well, when he's done playing, I'm actually going to head out of here for a bit. And Dave's going to come in and do some commentary with you. And I'm going to try to go out and maybe get a little interview with Ken out before.
Right, okay, so that's coming. Okay.
45, raise it.
Make sure that I said, you tell him I said hi. Since I won't be able to get out there before he leaves.
$45 raise here by pocket 10s. Seat 6. It looks like he's going to take it down there. That's Tony. So again, Tony really put some big raises in pre-flop.
Trap me right in there, boy. You reeled me right in. Reminds me of that movie. What's that movie? Godfather Part 3, where he's in the kitchen and he goes, just
So Ken is in the small blind here.
Out, they suck me back in again.
So I'll tell you, I was telling you, I haven't watched your show yet of the championship. I did watch the Tournament of Champions. Finally, I missed it on Christmas Eve, but I did watch it because they had another rerun this weekend.
The Battle of Champions from season 2?
I haven't watched that one. I was saying the Tournament of Champions from the World Series. What an incredible show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one where it was the final 3 was Phil Hellmuth, Mike Matusow, and Mike Corkins. You haven't watched it?
I have seen that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was incredible.
Ace King here for Alan. He raised it up to 30. And Gus is going to call here with Ace Rag out of position in the
Okay,
blinds.
put 2s and 3s out there, see what they do.
And actually, Ken is in the hand as well in seat 9. 8-4-3 with a couple of clubs. We cannot see Kenna's hands in
Kenna
seat
knows
9.
better than this. Come on, Kenna. There we go.
He's got King 6. Well, no one has any pair here. And I think that Alan made a continuation bet, and he is going to take it down. So, there it is. So what did you do for your New Year's?
Me? Played Omaha.
Played Omaha?
Yeah.
On New Year's?
I stayed home with my daughters. I played until like 11:45. They wanted to stay awake to watch the ball drop, so 11:45 they're like, Mom. I'm like, okay. So we went out and watched TV. And I was like, all right, time to go to bed.
No, I think I told...
I'm not a New Year's person, and I just
Well, it's
think
amateur night. So
it's
St.
just
Patrick's
another day,
Day.
you know. If I want to go out and celebrate, I'm gonna go out and celebrate another night.
Right. Button moves over here to Ken and James. I was telling some of the viewing audience yesterday, I think that my mother actually picked up a Chrysler Crossfire SRT kind of as like a Christmas gift from my dad. And I got a call this morning from my dad. Somebody ran a red light and totaled her car. She got broadsided this
Oh,
morning.
wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That sucks.
I mean, she's okay, but
Yeah, but it's our new car.
Yeah, exactly. Deuce 4-3 here on the flop. Kenna had raised to 15 here, and he's got top pair, and he's going to bet.
65.
He's going to bet 65.
Like an auctioneer.
And I don't. Well, John's got a gut shot here with an overcard. So John's got a little decision to make here.
Come on, it's not this tough.
Oh, he's
Not
got
that tough of a decision.
Yeah, he's got a gut shot. He's got a gut shot wheel draw, and there it is.
He falls.
So I'm actually going to head out onto the floor, and whenever Kenna wants to do an interview, maybe I'm going to interview him, and Dave's going to come in here and do some commentary for the next hour or so.
Cool.
So I'll see you in a little bit.
Alrighty. We'll go ahead and get him in the next hand here. Seat 1 has the button.
Any more room, sir?
I'm sorry. That's okay. Do I bother you?
Oh, no. We're elbowing each other.
I want to talk to you.
35. 35.
More?
Kenna put in a raise there. And gets called by Sylvester.
Rocking and rolling. How you doing?
5. Good.
Oh,
Sorry about
yeah.
that little pause, though. We had to switch around here.
Yeah. What's going on here?
We're in hand.
Yeah,
Three-way
10,
action.
10, 6. Look, Sean drops flops trips.
You check?
Just like that.
All in.
All in.
Yeah.
Wow, he's not messing around.
Sure.
That was Sean who went all in, right?
Seat 5 went all in.
Okay, so Sean. For $400?
You need miracle if you call.
Yes.
How big's the pot?
The pot's like 150, I think.
Miracle or a fair?
I mean, we were switching around, so it's kind of hard to see, but I did see there was a raise three-way action. It looked like about $50 raise.
I mean, you wonder if Ken actually had a real hand. If you guys, wait a second, why would he play a 10 this way?
Yeah, right.
It might actually be a good play if Kenna didn't have 9 high. What did you guys do here? There's like water everywhere.
Well, I don't think I did that. I think you must have done it.
I must have done it. I'm such a
Uh-huh.
slob. If we get electrocuted, you'll know what
David's
happened,
fault?
everybody. Yeah, exactly. It's completely my fault. So Tim Fan says hi to everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
I was talking to a guy named Frank Thompson out there who we're going to interview next week, who's he actually won the World Series of Poker in '96
Oh, okay.
for stud high-low.
Uh-huh.
And we'll interview him next week.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do our chip count.
Okay.
Sylvester there with the most money on the table. It's $1,100. And Kenna plays one hand and is up to $1,000 already.
Well, he's a pro. I mean, only a pro
got
could
really
do that.
lucky. Were you outside when
I
did you
was.
see it? Yeah.
I was.
Got real lucky, and then.
See, some
Gus-
people
Gus
call
had
that
to
luck,
rebuy.
and some people just call it Kenna.
Well, you know, it was his initials. He was bound to win that hand.
Yeah. Nobody else could do that.
I don't think that nobody else would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving tonight. That's what I'm doing.
So I've been very sad all week. I mean, I understand that you are leaving, and I'm sure you told everybody why.
Right.
And I'm happy that you're leaving. I mean, in the sense that you're for yourself.
Yes.
But we will miss you terribly. I'll miss
Well,
you.
you know how hard it was for me telling you,
Yeah.
last week. It was a very emotional
This year
day
you-
because you guys are my family in here.
For everybody that doesn't know, Shirley was actually in tears when she told me.
Yes.
It was really sweet.
Yeah.
And then I was working with Bart last night, and I started thinking, wow, 5 days a week
5
with
days a
Bart.
week.
5 days a week with Bart.
Uh-huh.
All I kept thinking was, maybe we'll hire somebody else.
Well, I'll come in and guest commentate.
Yes, you must. You have to. Well, after you win your, after you win a couple of tournaments at the LA Poker Classic, and then a couple of World Series bracelets,
There you go.
and then Legends, of
And you'll
course.
just be begging me to come in here.
Exactly.
Coming back and gone.
Small little raise here. $40 raise from seat 6.
From
Tony's
Tony?
raising, he's raising with King Jack offsuit.
No, I don't think it was.
No, it wasn't Tony, was it David?
Tony, yeah.
Okay.
Tony won raised to 40 with King Jack.
I was wondering
He
that,
was-
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tight. It was David Kelsey. And Sean called with Jack 3.
Well,
That's-
Sean's out flopped him, but how does he know he's had the best hand here?
Right.
Going by yourself?
And a nice continuation bet there with David. He does have outs. That's a good shot.
75.
They're not really the flop you're looking for with Jack 3 of Hearts.
No.
I'm not really sure what the flop you're looking for with Jack 3 of Hearts is, but
You're looking for a 3-3 flop.
yeah, I guess so. And he shows, as if that was supposed to impress.
Yeah. Let's show everybody I called with Jack 3 of Hearts.
Now look at this. Shirley has great poker talent. I'm reading a 2+2 thread, by the way, everybody. Shirley has great poker talent, but I also wanted to throw in just how gorgeous she is. Definitely one of the hottest women in poker, bar none.
Thank you. That's Aces High on
Aces High on,
7.
Yeah, on 2+2.
Thank
And if you want to follow a live thread, you can actually go to liveatthebike.com, and we have links now to 2+2 and full contact poker. So choose your poison.
30. C9 raised to 30.
Ken is raising it up
Ken
$30.
really wants to get as many hands played as he can in this round.
Yeah.
He's raising there with King 8 of Hearts.
Well, it looks like, does he have the best hand? Tony's called him. Tony must have a better hand.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen Tony's. He has Jack 10 of diamonds.
Oh, okay. And Gus has a pair of 5s.
And Gus is that's probably out for Ken.
Yeah, not a bad flop for 5s.
No. And he leads out with that.
So New Year's Eve, you spent it playing Omaha?
Yes, I did.
It's only fair. I've got it.
Well, I'm just not a New Year's Eve person.
No.
Even
well, I guess with
even
daughters.
when I was like even before I had the kids, when I was like 21, 22, when I worked at Commerce and was cocktailing,
right.
I used to volunteer to work that night. Just I'd be in the casino, I'd be celebrating kind of with the customers in there.
Ken had called the
$70.
I'm sorry to.
Wow.
Jump in there for you. I just assumed the hand was over, but Ken has actually called, and now he's leading out and betting when the jack hit. And I got to tell you, it's really tough for Gus to make this play here, because Gus even says, he goes, I know you don't have a 7, but Gus can't beat anything.
Do I have? That's the question.
I mean, Gus can beat nothing except the pure bluff, which is what Ken is on.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I suppose you can beat if Ken had a flush draw. I mean, a straight draw here. And the way he bet when the jack of spades come out, it's almost like you'd assume he had like maybe 8-9 or 5-8, and then he picked up a spade draw as well. But obviously he doesn't even have that.
Oh, he's thinking about it here.
Well,
wow, he makes the call.
And that's a big call there.
Yeah, but the only thing is that he took so long that I think that if Kenneth fires a really big bet here, I think he could take it down.
Well, if he puts them all in, it's a real
Gus
tough.
was hesitating.
Yeah.
You got it. You got to have anything bigger than a 5.
$10.
Wow, and Kenneth just started pushing chips out.
Guarantee you.
No, give us $10. Give us $10.
7-8, you can't win.
Oh. Oh.
I know.
Oh, I thought I had a jack.
You rivered me again.
You still won.
That's incredible.
And look at that.
That's incredible.
Kenneth, well, the jack obviously killed Gus's hand because it's jacks and 7s with a 6 kicker.
Right.
So Kenneth was playing around and he threw the $10 in.
Well, he was going to bet a big amount, and then Gus says, "Forget it, you got it." And he's like, "Okay, only $10." And then Gus is like, "Okay, well, I'll put the $10."
And Gus actually threw 10 and he said, "No, keep your 10.
Keep your 10, yeah.
Twice.
But Gus did. He had conceded the pot already. He said, "No, go ahead and get it." Right.
He
So
conceded it,
Kenneth
and then
wins the
Kenneth threw
pot.
10.
Right.
But Kenneth he had king high, and that was good enough already. Actually, let's be honest, the 8 high was good enough.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm curious now if the river had not brought a jack, would Gus have made a big call? Would have he made a $200 or $300 call? I'm not sure. I mean, he made a huge call on the turn, so who knows?
Right.
We'll never know.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking now that king high was the best hand. The 2 pair with the king.
Right, you thought actually when he threw $10 and you said, "Oh no, what are you going to give the pot away?"
Well, because I thought that Gus had said, "Oh, forget it."
I got you.
I'm losing my mind.
You thought Gus verbally had given the pot
I
away.
had given it and said, "Forget it, you already have it." So
Now, technically,
I wasn't even paying attention to what the cards were at that point when he said, "Forget it, you
heads
got
up
it."
between Walt and Kenna here.
25.
Oh.
Now, I always wonder about that rule now. If somebody actually verbally concedes the hand to you, you can actually muck your hand.
Right.
If somebody goes, "You win," you can muck your hand.
You muck your hand and you are awarded the pot.
You're awarded the pot. Now, you got to be careful because some floor men don't actually know the rules, and they'll be like, "Wait a second," and so you can get tricky there. So, but I've seen it happen. And Ken is staying around for another round. Lucky us.
says,
I imagine he's lighting the game up a
went
little.
well.
Yeah, he's probably up, what, $800 already in one round?
About that, yeah.
Yeah. Most people look at, like, you know, you want a bet and a half, maybe 2 bets an hour.
Right.
He looks at like $80 a hand.
Right.
So what's the next? What is the first big tournament you're going to be playing in? That we're looking
I'm
forward
probably
to?
going to be playing the first classic event, which is $300 no limit.
Okay, and then when
but
is that?
the ones that it's the middle of January.
Okay.
Of course, the ones I'm looking most forward to are the Omaha, the two Omaha, the two shootouts, and the $10,000 main event.
Okay. We got $60 pot here, and look at it. Now, it's an ace, queen, jack. Gus has got top 2. David has got a pair of aces. Not much of a kicker.
Everybody knows what they
See how this, and nobody else has anything.
I've got 5 cards. 6 down. I gotta have
And the
jack.
turn's a jack.
I
and
don't
that-
think Ken has looked at his cards.
I'm gonna look at 1.
There you go. He's playing blind.
He's looking at 1.
20.
And he lied. He's looking at 2 now.
Hmm.
How much is collection for this guy?
Gus is slow playing that ace queen to death, huh? I gotta tell you, it's the odd thing though is he slow plays it. There's 2 hearts on the board. If a 10 or a king come out there, his hand is almost worthless.
Right.
I mean, a lot of cards can scare you here. I mean, in the end, his hand is pretty much invincible. Yeah, he's still gonna win this pot. He's got aces and queens and a king kicker.
Well, if Gus can pull off a nope.
But the king is,
I mean,
you know,
if,
the king's an action
David,
killer.
Yeah, if David had put a bet in there.
Really interesting. Once again, we're live at the bike here. I'm David Tuckman, not Bart Hansen, with the lovely Shirley Rosario on her last night. There I am. And there you are. And we're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 300 and 500.
Right.
Actually, no, the game is 300, 500. Blinds are 5-5. And I'm a little nervous.
Why?
Well, you know, working with Bart, it's really easy.
Uh-huh.
Because he's just not that good looking. But working with you, I get a little fluttered. You know?
Oh, thank you.
Raise it, make it 20.
And getting word that they're going to do an interview. Bart's going to interview Kenna James.
Right.
So we're out here with the myth, the legend, the infamous Kenna James. And I mean, what, does anything ever change with you? You put all your money in with King Jack, Spike a Jack at the end. Did you just win with King High over there? I had gotten up from the table.
Not only did I win with King High, I won without knowing what I had. I thought I had Jacks full. And which is why I had, felt so much confidence, and I had all this confidence, and I turned it over proudly. It was King High. It was still good.
Well, I mean, that's what you get for wearing a Texas hat in L.A., right? Guy over there in C1.
No. He played it great. He just ran bad, but a lot of people run bad against me, and that's how I'm a blessed individual. I get really lucky a lot of the time. And then once in a while, I cover it up with a little skill. That's a good mix.
That's 65.
I've got a really strong strategy.
Are you out player?
If I don't have the best hand, I usually make it very tough to beat. Very tough.
No matter how far behind you might be in the start of the hand, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, did it ever look, look at my face on it. Did it ever look like I was behind Bart?
No, never.
No.
Never does.
And my opponents don't think so. So that gets them into making wrong plays, and next thing you know, they're scooping, they're shoveling chips my way.
Now, you had a really good 2005. Finished second here at the
Yes.
Legends of Poker. You had a really great showing in the main event, the World Series, right?
Right.
And you had some other cashes there at the World
Yeah.
Series as well.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your plans. And obviously, you are one of the co-hosts for Poker Royale on GSN. Do you have any other commentating plans in the future? How does that 2006 look for you now?
Well, right now, once again, I've really lucked out. I am doing a couple of, I go up to Toronto to do some European commentating this next month. And looking into signing a really big sponsorship deal in the next month. As well as on my way to Australia for the Aussie Millions.
Yeah, that's right here, right?
Yeah. So it's looking like a fantastic year. It's going to be a great year for poker. Professional poker tours are going to be springing up.
Yeah.
Sponsorship is going to come into play.
Professional poker tours where the players don't put up 100% of the money, right?
Exactly, where that players are going to actually be flown in, their buy-ins put up, and so this is actually going to become a very viable sport, and which is fantastic for the young people out there.
Now, of course, you know, everyone in the poker world knows that you finished second here, but it hasn't aired yet. I mean, the America that's not necessarily, you know, going on and, you know, following the tournament circuit. I mean, it airs in April.
March 8th.
Is it March?
March 8th.
The date. Well, there you go, March 8th. I mean, you can imagine, you know, the amount of phone calls you're going to get after that thing airs. I mean, if you think
all
you're
those
busy
relatives,
now,
all those relatives are going to come out of the closet. And, no, yeah, it's it was the Bicycle Club's a great casino. It's my home turf. I'm really excited that I did well in that tournament. I can't tell you the feeling it feels like to be on a WPT final. It's a dream come true. It was an exciting tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself.
Great. Kenneth, thanks for stopping by again.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
always a favorite. Live at the back. Back to you, David and Shirley.
Appreciate it.
Wow, pretty exciting.
Right. It's always a pleasure to have Kenna.
I love him.
Kenna here, yes.
He's such a cool guy.
He is.
He says that it's really exciting. Oh, wow, look, Sean's got aces. And Gus has got a flush.
Has a flush.
And Gus actually checked it on the turn. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did.
Kind of dangerous because Sean had the
And
ace
it
of
seems
spades.
like he's betting a lot of money here. I mean, we didn't see the pre-flop action. But he is going to get called.
Yeah. Well, and Gus actually gave him the free card on the turn.
I'm very surprised that, I shouldn't be surprised, but I am surprised that he got a $200 bet. I mean, the pot looked like it was $150.
Maybe something like that. It's hard to
Yeah,
figure
and
out.
then Gus bet $200, so $350 is $200 to call. There's two kings out there.
Yeah, it's
Can't
tough
be
to get
a
rid of
king.
aces.
It's tough for a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah.
But you lay him down, right, David?
It happens.
Besides
You
your
have to
donkey
sometimes.
day.
Yeah, except my donkey day.
Yeah, your donkey day. You
Well, my
might have
donkey
called
day, I
there.
didn't get any aces.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah, you wouldn't have known what to do with them.
I wouldn't have. I
You
probably
would have
just moved all
managed
in
some
right-
way to screw it up.
I probably
I'm
just
sure.
would have moved all in right away and hoped that somebody thought I was, just playing like an idiot.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny that Kenna talks about how the excitement of playing on a World Poker Tour final table.
Mhm.
It's kind of like playing on the Live at the Bike final table. Almost
Yeah.
the same exact thing.
Uh-huh.
He gets that exhilaration.
Right.
You see it. Don't you feel bad for him that he's got to go to Australia playing a poker tournament?
I was actually just
Oh.
going to talk about that. I played a tournament qualifier for that Aussie Million. They gave 2 seats. I got third. That was really disappointing.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really disappointing. Otherwise, I'd be going with Kenna.
Now, Sylvester's bet this flop. He's bet $20 into the flop. It was limped around, so it's only about a $25 pot. And Walt doesn't have much here. He's going to throw it away. So 2 seats, and you would have been there. Oh, that's
Right.
terrible. What was the buy-in? 10,000?
For the Aussie Million, you know what? I don't know what it was. I mean, what was the package?
So that's what my wife is like. She is hammering me about. She goes, listen, I don't mind you being a professional poker player. Go ahead, have fun, great. I mean, she supports me 100%. But the only thing she wants me to do is she's like, can't we go to Aruba or Australia
Right.
or France?
All the fun things.
She's like,
you just got to qualify on those things online. Some of
Exactly.
those things are really good. The one, the Australia one.
Try to take it back legitimately.
Damn, I should have had that seat. I should have had that seat.
yeah, I mean, I don't understand why she's upset though. I keep taking her to Bell Gardens.
Right, to make it 30.
What? I mean, Bell Gardens? That's nice, huh?
Yeah, that's nice.
Now, David's going to make it $30 with Jack 3 of diamonds in somewhat late position. He's going to buy himself the button and the pot. A little steal there with the Jack 3 of diamonds.
We are in between a hand.
Now, this
You
is
see,
a-
I was just going to say, surfing a line. These people feel sorry for Bart, that we give Bart a hard time. Can you stand it? He says that me and him,
This is classic.
The two of us give him so much crap.
I like how he compares everybody. He calls Bart the George Costanza of the group.
Right.
He says that I'm Jerry.
Right.
You're Elaine.
Uh-huh.
And he wants to know who's Kramer. Kramer's Isaac.
There you go.
Kramer's definitely Isaac. You got to see him walk in there. He almost looks like Kramer a little bit.
Oh, stop.
Pocket Jack's in seat 4, and Sylvester's got him, and he's got the button, and he's going to raise it up.
Couldn't wait to get that money in, huh?
And How often do you see this? Somebody gets their aces cracked, and then about 3 hands later goes on
They're
tilt.
tilt. Yeah.
And he shoves in
Get all our chips.
$150 with ace-9. Sean has moved all in, about 150. And David's thinking about it. I don't know why.
I don't
Lemon.
think he really is, but
You can ask the Lemon about your joke, okay?
I mean, even if you know the guy is...
David looks frustrated too.
I mean, even if you know the guy is steaming... Well,
Yeah, you can't call with 10 high.
With 10 high.
I'm saying if you would have called.
I mean, I think Sylvester's going to call it jacks. And he does. He said, though, if David had called, I wouldn't.
See what I got here.
And it's heads up here. Ace-9 against jacks.
I bet I have the best hand.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but jack spade's there for...
Yeah, Sylvester does have outs.
He has outs there. He needs a jack or spade, and he's going to win the spot.
I mean, see, what do you have?
Look at that presentation.
Yeah.
It's like the World Series.
It
Very
is.
exciting. Ooh. And Sean sucks out on him and wins the pot.
Well, Brian's a great dealer.
About a $300 pot. Yeah, Brian is a good dealer.
That's fine, that's fine.
Lions, please.
So again, we see the West hand win.
Wasn't Brian dating somebody here?
Yes, he was dating
Rika,
a
right?
cocktail waitress.
Yeah, one of the cocktail waitresses. Sweet girl. Are they still dating or no?
Last time I talked to him, no.
Okay.
But it might have changed since then. I have known him for many years.
You've known everybody for many years.
Well,
I mean,
I've known
everybody in
him
the poker world.
from back at Commerce. I mean, he used to be a customer at Commerce, and then he started working there.
Yeah.
And then he left, and we both ended up over here.
Little raise here.
Nice place to work.
Little raise by Sylvester. He's got pocket fours. No, I'm sorry. He raised with ace-queen. And Sean has called with fours. And Tony calls with queen-jack offsuit. But there's the ace. Sylvester's got top pair. Good kicker. Plus he's got the ace of clubs just in case a club comes out. And John is in there with clubs. And Sylvester bets, it looks like $20. 25.
25 is the best.
Sean has got a gut shot wheel draw here.
And he calls.
It's tricky.
And I can't imagine John going anywhere here with clubs.
Yeah, he calls and hits.
And there's club, but Sylvester's got redraw here with the ace of clubs. If John slow plays it, he could get himself in trouble.
Interesting first hour. Very. Yeah.
And he might slow play it. No, you know what? That would be really silly. I was thinking he might because he only has to worry about the ace, but if Sylvester bet
35.
the flop, it's most likely as an ace. It could very well, he could have the ace of clubs.
And he puts in a little raise here, a little mini raise.
Raise it.
And this is one of those times where it's kind of just an easy, smooth call by Sylvester, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, you can't re-raise him, obviously. But it's an easy, smooth call. The pot's big enough.
He does.
And if the club comes off, you wonder how much John will pay off. Well, academic now.
50.
50? It's a kind of a small bet, huh?
Yes.
But now Sylvester can't beat. Can't beat a 4. Can't beat clubs. And
But he
pays him
calls.
off. Nice value bet on the river. I wasn't sure exactly how much Sylvester would pay off.
Right.
But it looked like Sylvester
It
didn't even want to
look
pay
like,
the 50.
that's what I was going to say. It didn't look like he wanted to do that. He was just calling saying, okay, here.
Right. The pot was laying him enough odds there that he almost had to call the 50, I guess. So are you going to, I'm just out of curiosity now, I know you still play online.
Yes.
But are you going to put most of your attention toward tournaments? I know, like, there are a lot of players that kind of advocate, when I'm playing tournaments, I just want to play tournaments, because it really is a different animal than cash
Yes.
games.
When I play tournaments, that's like all I have the energy to do. You know,
Right.
and I was telling Bart that I like to take breaks in between. I'm not one of those that can play one, get knocked out, and then go back the next day, and then go back the next day. If I play a long amount of time.
Right.
If I get knocked out right away, I can do it. But, so I'm not exactly sure how much online ring games that I will be playing while that tournament series is going on. But up until then, and in between the tournament that I'm going to,
Okay.
I'll be playing a lot of online. And it's been wonderful.
Right, and you play cash games online?
Yes.
Primarily, okay.
Yes. Every once in a while I'll jump on a tournament, but not so much.
And they chop it up here, David with the ace-king, and they chop it up. It's always interesting. So you're not the type of player. I know there are certain players, like Phil Locke used to talk about how he would enter himself in a $10,000 tournament. And if he got knocked out, he would go downstairs
and win.
And play in a no-limit game and try to win the $10,000 back.
Right.
You're not that type of player where if you run dead in a tournament and you get knocked out, you go home.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that there's enough times that I can, do well, win money, like between now and the beginning of the Classic.
Okay.
I've got a couple weeks to where I can win some money and stuff like that. And if I get knocked out of a tournament, I'm usually really depressed and take it hard. And I don't want to go down there and get in a game like that. There's better opportunities when.
A little raise here from Sylvester, $15. Goes 3 ways here. Gus has got one of my favorite hands. Don't ask me why. I just always like 4-5 suited. 4-5 heart, to be honest with you. Especially in no limit. Limit hold'em, I kind of hate it. But in no limit, I love it.
25.
That's 25. That's it.
And takes it down. That's pretty easy.
Right.
Well, you know what? When Tony bets,
Tony's
kind of
reputation, yeah.
So you don't. Okay, so once the LA Poker Classic starts, you won't even play online. You won't play cash games online.
I will play some online, but not on a day that most likely not on a day that I get knocked out of a tournament. Like if I'm playing a no limit and then the next day's limit hold'em, which I won't be playing.
Right.
I might play some online, do my website stuff then.
I got you. Because it was interesting. I thought I made a mistake. This was the first year. I've played in the World Series now 2 years. The main event only this year. Little raise here out of seat 7. That's Sean. $15. And David's going to actually re-raise him. And he makes it 45 with 10-8.
David hasn't been getting dealt many hands. He's just, this is a...
And look at that. He takes it down.
Well, he hasn't really been getting dealt many hands. He hasn't been playing many hands.
And
he's
John
just like, I got to win a pot.
And John had raised it up with ace-10 and then just threw it away like it was nothing. I mean, it's a good throwaway. I guess David is playing the player. But one of the mistakes I thought I made in the World Series this year was I really played a lot of limit hold'em at the Bellagio. And I also played a lot of no limit hold'em at the Bellagio. And then the next day I would go play cash games. I would play a tournament. And the next day I would play cash games. And I mixed it up. And I just noticed that, you know what, earlier on, and I noticed that when I was focusing on the tournaments, I would do better in the tournaments. And when I was focusing on the cash games, I would do better in cash games.
Right.
And by mixing it up, I almost confused myself. I don't know if I'm not good enough to change on the fly that quickly.
Yeah, well, I hear of the best players in the world having a hard time, not necessarily between tournaments and cash games, but saying, when their limit hold'em game is really on, their no limit game might not be as on.
Yeah.
I think Dennis Waterman was talking about that to me one time. He plays every game, and he plays every game well. But usually when he's playing one really well, the other ones aren't so hot. So
I agree with that 100%. Yeah. I often will be playing stud high-low here, and if I start either running bad or playing bad in it, I will try to switch to no limit hold'em. And then I'll go to that, and I'll playing that, and then if I'm, sometimes turns in that one, I'll go to limit hold'em. And that's obviously one of the benefits of playing more than one game.
Yes.
But I think it also holds true when you're playing tournaments or cash games.
Yeah.
And I think next year at the World Series, I think I'm really going to just try to focus on just tournaments and not play cash games at all.
Well, you got it. You have 6 months or whatever, around 6 months to, win all your money before that.
Exactly.
You guys take care of it? I got it, bud. Got it? Thanks.
And as long as I don't donkey it up too much, I'll be fine. Right?
No, I think you learned your lesson on that one.
Definitely. Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Shirley Rosario. And this is Shirley Rosario dedication night.
Oh,
so please send in your fondest Shirley Rosario memories.
Sex player.
I think
Photos,
everyone's going to be
memories.
liking those when I said, I was wrong, Bart. I think they got that on a sound bite.
Ace Jack 3, couple of hearts out there. Sylvester's got top pair here. Not much of a kicker, but he does have the best hands.
$40.
And he's going to bet $30 into about a $30 pot. I can't imagine anybody calling. The only person that might have taken one off was Tony, who had the king of hearts and second pair. But he throws it away. Alan throws it away. Got a really tight table, huh?
Yes.
I mean, look at this table. We got Walter and
right. You
Gus.
don't usually do Tuesday nights, but this is kind of what we get.
Walter, Gus, Alan.
Uh-huh. And David was a tight player. The last couple times he's been playing, he's been mixing it up a little more. Look, Tony.
I mean, I would mix it up in a game like this because it's like
You have to.
Yeah, you could definitely be the aggressive player at this table.
Mm-hmm.
Button is in seat 3. Small blind's $5. In seat 4, that's Sylvester. Big blind is $5. In seat 5, that's Sean. Sean tried to give his money away earlier, but the dealer wouldn't let him.
And they chopped it.
Chop it up?
Well, you know, Kenna added some excitement in the 2 rounds he did play.
Yes, without a doubt.
So I will be coming in once in a while to sit in the game, too.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, it was funny. I've been playing a lot of the $1,000 game, 10-20 blind game, and the 500 game, the 5-10 blind game. And I've been doing very well the last, like, say, 5-6 weeks. Watching the hundreds of hours that we do watch is a huge, huge advantage for us. I mean, and for anybody at home watching the show and then playing in these games.
Right.
Not only do you get to know the players, but you also see what plays work, what plays doesn't work. And Gus raises it up to $25.
There we go. All in.
Wow.
And he's mixing it up a little. He's got king.
Yeah, I would say so. He
and
moves all in with queen 10.
Yeah, but Sean moved all on the top. I don't think Gus
That's
can
what I'm
call
talking
this.
about.
Yeah.
Sean moved in with queen 10.
Well, maybe he sensed that Gus was stealing.
Well, Gus had only put in $25, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge raise.
And Sean moves all in for like 300.
A ridiculous amount.
Okay, I'm sorry,
2 and
250.
change.
Yeah, 2 and change. Still.
Just go ahead, buddy. I gotta go, you know. It's up to you.
But Gus only has king high. I mean.
Right. Well, Gus can't make a call here.
No.
But not the brightest moves by Sean.
No, he got away with it.
Yes, he did.
Smart.
Second time he got away with it. Well, you know, moving all in like that, it works until it doesn't work, and then obviously you go broke. But you would, in all honesty, if you played in like the Friday night game, now I'm not sure if you're comfortable playing in the Wednesday night game.
In the well game,
What language? Original.
you know what? I don't know if I will.
But the Friday night game, which
I
is obviously
probably
10,
will
20
come in. I
blinds.
think Friday nights work better for me.
Oh,
as
it's
far
a
as my
kick-ass
schedule.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great game. Everybody at home knows. People come in just to play in that game.
Yeah.
You'd kill it.
Okay.
Pocket aces for Alan here. And I want to say David, though. David made it $20 in kind of middle position with ace 10 of spades. Made it 25, sorry. And it's up to Alan. Alan's trying to decide what he's going to do here. Took an awful long time here. And he does a mini raise, makes it 50.
Let's see if Sean decides to move all in because he's got to go home.
I guess he really does have to go.
Somebody actually said that.
Few faults.
I never understood that. I got to go home, so I really got to gamble
So
my last
I
two
want
hands.
to, I want to lose all
Lose
the rest of my
$300.
money.
Oh, you didn't look at his cards yet? You're eyeing everybody down. I was like, geez, I think you got a monster hand. I'm just dizzy. I just had to find out how.
And Alan is, he wants a little action, just not a lot of action.
He
He's
gets a
got-
call here by David. David needs a lot of help.
Yeah. That's not it. It's not a flop you're looking for when you get ace 10 of spades, huh?
No.
Flop is 9, 4, 5.
But he
couple of
doesn't hit a
clubs.
piece neither. So he might not
Right.
get himself into too much
It's better
trouble.
than 10, 5, 4, I suppose. And Alan's kind of slow playing. They're trying to trap him a little bit, seeing if David will bite. I think Alan's going to bet now, though.
50.
Kind of a weak bet here. Almost
That's
betting it
50.
as if he had ace queen or ace king, you know?
Well,
Or set.
if that's what David puts him on, he's beat.
Problem is, though, Alan doesn't have much money, though.
Right.
So even if you think he has ace queen or ace king, you can't get him off it anyway.
Thank you.
Did you guys talk about the pineapple cake that Ray made?
Did we talk about the cake?
Yeah.
No.
You guys, I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm not sure if we've ever actually had Ray. For everybody at home, Ray is our cameraman. We talk about him all the time.
Right.
And he looks like this, like, big, kick-ass guy. I mean, he looks like, yeah, there he is. See, look, angry. I mean, angry, tough. You do not want to screw
That
with
was a
him,
great
okay?
shot, yeah.
Okay. The guy comes in today, and for you, he makes, hold on a second.
Yeah.
He makes, look at this, a pineapple cake. Check this out, guys. He makes a pineapple cake. We got like Martha Stewart here.
Good luck, Shirley. Cake.
Yeah, Happy New Year and good luck, Shirley cake.
Yep.
There it is.
Thank you, Ray.
Sylvester makes it $30 with ace-jack offsuit. Tony decides not to call on the button with king-queen offsuit. And David looks like he wants to play, though, with ace-4 offsuit. What does he do now? He's going to lay it down.
Two players.
Well, again, David doesn't mind. He'll raise with any 2 cards, but he's not calling.
He's not going to call, right?
Which is that's fine. Flop misses everybody, but Sylvester's going to continue, and I don't think Sean can call. He doesn't.
I'm surprised he called the Jack 5 pre-flop. But
well, he's got to go home. Come on, he's got to gamble.
yeah. And Tony didn't even think twice about that king queen. Just
No.
out of here, done.
Well, king queen offsuit is a trouble hand.
Yes.
Sometimes on the button you can get away with calling it, but you don't really want to be a caller.
Well, he was on the button, but yeah.
I mean, I don't mind laying that down in no limit because you hit the king. I hate hands where you don't know what you're rooting for.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I have pocket 4s and a guy raises another position and I call, I know what I'm rooting for.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But if I have king queen, I don't know if I hit my king, I don't know if it's good. I hit my queen, I don't know if it's
right.
good. Basically, I want ace jack 10 to come out. You know?
Right.
Okay, well, I need 2 cards.
Queen,
out.
queen. Yeah.
Can do that.
Yeah, it's so funny. There was one hand where I played with king queen, and it's a lesson that I've learned. It took me a long time to learn it, but basically that it's not a calling hand, it's a raising hand.
Yeah.
I had raised, and the girl did a mini raise to my left, and I was like, well, that's kind of suspicious, but I'm really getting odds on it. It was in a tournament. Odds on this. I should make this call, but I'm not looking to hit 1 pair. I'm looking to hit a huge flop. I'm looking to hit 2 pair. Take her out. The mini raise was kind of suspicious. And what do? Hit 1 pair. I check move in on her. And like that was my last time. I was like, that's it. I'm done with king queen.
And that's the thing. A lot of good players
go
actually
with what I say.
A lot of good players actually think they go, well, I can play that hand because I know how to get away from it. Well, you know what? King queen and the flop comes out like queen 7-3.
Right.
It's tough to get away from king queen.
Well,
there.
that's pretty much what happened.
You know, and that's happens there. Now we had a raise here by John to $25. Gus called. Flop came out. Obviously 8-7-3 rainbow. And check to John, and John is
betting 165.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Gus actually threw out a $65 bet.
Yes.
Kind of to see where he was at. Hope that basically it's not a bad bet. It's kind of like a feeler bet to see if John actually had a pair or if John had ace jack or ace queen.
Right.
And he got the answer, obviously. I imagine Gus is going to throw this away now. He's got king queen. He's got no draw, no pair. And he has no idea where he's at now. Is John re-raising him with 9s, 10s, or maybe even kings or queens?
Right.
Yeah, king queen offsuit, though, that's a... I mean, any of those hands where you don't know where you're at.
My name in there too?
I mean, and you have to even be careful when you raise with king queen offsuit.
I believe you.
And you get called by a good player.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful that they don't have ace queen.
Right.
Because ace queen is often not a re-raising
Re-raising hand, got to call to see where.
Yeah. And then you hit your queen, you go broke anyway.
Wait. Pick card.
And Gus lays it down. John takes it. I'm in the process of writing another blog, so anybody that wants to read my blog, it's Under the Gun with David Tuckman, and you can check it out at liveatthebike.com.
Oh, another entry into it?
Yep.
Good.
Well, my last one I talked about Ace King. Anybody wants
Did
to
you
know
ever
my...
promise me an article?
I never promised you an article.
You didn't? Okay. Bart promised me an article
Would
like
you
a
like
year and
an
a half
article?
ago. I would love one.
Okay. Yeah. What for? Oh, for your website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You tell me what you want.
Your buddy Larry's on there.
Larry?
Yes.
LG?
Yes.
Wow. John is all in, folks. Sean is all in. Seat 5. Surprise, surprise. He's moved all in this time with Queen 8 of Hearts. I wonder if anybody can call this. Gus?
Well, he really hasn't had to show the garbage, so that they don't know that the guy's just totally lost his mind.
Although he did move all in with Ace 9, and they saw that. But I guess that's
they
not
did
as
see
garbage.
that. It's not as bad as Queen 5 and the other one was, or Queen 8 and Jack 5.
I don't think anybody can call this, but he's now put $150 in. He's risking basically almost $200 to win 15. It's good odds, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, where's the leg? Bring out the target.
I'm not afraid of it.
And everybody's going to lay this down. Sylvester is not going to call, obviously, with 7 high. Once again, we try to make the show as interactive as possible, so if you have any questions, comments, or you just want to say hi to Shirley and me, you can email us at liveatthebike.com, or you can go to Full Contact Poker or 2+2 and go to the thread.
If you want to gamble or not.
Button moves over to seat 1. That's Gus. Blinds again are 5 and 5. We have an opening in seat 9.
I think he's going to put you
And we'll see what we can do there. Now, Bart had wanted to play in this game, but we do have we have set a precedent here. And Sean's moved all in again, and this time he's got a real hand.
Yes, he does.
He's got aces.
Do I get a free massage too, Tony?
So it wouldn't be the best time for one of these players to take a stand against him. It doesn't look like, oh, David Kelsey has something we can't see. Ace-Jack.
Well, you know what? Sean has set this up. I mean, I don't think we meant
He
to.
has, and David is unfortunate that he actually has a hand this time.
Yeah. And David's in bad shape. 'Cause let's look at, even the jack is a jack of spades, which doesn't even give him that. I mean, he's got very little. He needs a lot of help here.
Right.
Give me pair.
Huh?
Pair. Some
Give me
pair.
a king, a queen, and a 10.
Yeah, king and queen and a 10 would do it.
Yeah, that would be a flop.
Give me 2 jack. I gotta go.
There's a 10.
Oh, we saw Kenny catch 2 jacks.
Another jack.
Well, there's a jack.
One more jack.
Another jack.
Oh, now he needs a queen or a jack.
King.
No, that doesn't do it, though.
That's not enough.
Obviously, Sean's 2 pair are better than David's 2 pair. Play your best 5 cards and hold them. So Sean has aces and kings with a jack kicker, while David there had kings and jacks with an ace kicker.
Somebody said, you know, I gotta go home. That's my line. That means don't call. Hi, Ron. When somebody say I gotta go home.
No, I gotta go.
But anyway, I was going to say, Bart actually wanted to play in this game, but we set a precedent a long time ago that although you can be at home and watch the show live and come down to the casino and play
Because
in
you
it,
like the game, right?
that's fine. But we've set a precedent where we can play in these games, but not on the nights that we commentate on.
Right.
We think it's unfair, obviously, if we're watching a player the way they're playing tonight, and then we jump at the game.
Well, I mean, you did point out the fact that, I mean, it's no different than what they're doing at home. It's just a smart business.
Yeah, exactly, for us. It's just not. And obviously, I mean, I'll play in the same games. Like I played with Ed, and I'll play with all these players, just on a different night.
Right.
So, no big deal.
Two players.
Rawl makes it $25 to go with ace-king. And Alan calls with pocket 3s. The flop is Jack, 7. Now, it's interesting. I don't think Alan has that much money behind him. I mean, if you're going to call a $25 raise just to hit your set with that much money,
Right.
just doesn't make any
It's
sense.
not really a bad flop for 3s.
Not at all.
Right.
Okay, one more time.
But I don't really call with those small pairs when I don't have chips.
Yeah, and unless 5 or 6 people have called. I mean, if 5 or 6 people call
Yeah.
the $25, okay, then I've already got my 5 or 6 to 1 odds right there, plus a small amount of implied odds.
Right.
But there he's getting basically even money on his bet, and he's only got $100
He only
behind
has
him.
right.
And there's no guarantee, obviously, that if he hits his 3,
That you're gonna
that
get
Walter
paid.
has anything anyway. 3 players times $25. We got a $75 pot. The raise was from David with king 6 of spades. And this one was missed. No, actually, John's got 2 pairs. The flop is Jack, Jack 3.
There's a flop lag on that one. That's what David's complaining about.
Turn is a queen. You have those days where you just kind of miss it by 1 card.
Yeah.
Tony fires on semi-bluff here. He's got a heart draw. I don't think David can call this. He doesn't have anything. Well, what do I know? Is David going to make a play?
Well, David must be going to.
Well, either that or
He
he just hit a
actually,
6.
yeah, he actually hit the best one.
I was going to say, I'd love to see if he would have made a play at it, though.
Hey, let's get Bart in here.
He is making a play. No, he isn't. He's calling.
Well, he might have made a play had he not hit the 6. Once he hit the 6, what's the point of making a play? And David's got to show it.
Tony's trying to figure out, what are you doing? Why'd you call?
Yeah, well, you look at that.
Tony couldn't figure out what he had. He's like, what do you have?
What are you calling me with?
What's going on here?
I was actually surprised Tony even bet the raise. Figuring, you know, I'm going to get called by any pair.
Uh-huh.
And if he doesn't have a pair, then my ace high is good.
Want to put another one?
And there's a shot of Bart.
Yeah.
In
Bart
his
talking to somebody.
Black T-shirt. I'm talking to John there. John is the classic grinder, by the way. The guy that Bart was talking to.
Uh-huh.
Like, they talk, Michael Mizrachi, the grinder.
Right.
He's not a grinder. He's a tournament player.
Uh-huh.
John, he's a grinder.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy comes in, punches in his, his timesheet.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually does not work here.
Yeah, not really.
But figuratively, punches in his timesheet, puts in his 8 hours a day at 30-60 Hold'em game, and just grinds out a living. I mean, I guess it's what's his name's character in Rounders.
Matt Damon?
No, the other guy. What's the guy's name?
Edward
Sure, will get flooded. Nope, the other one. It's kind of his mentor. It's kind of Matt Damon's mentor in Rounders.
The teacher? No. Okay, I'm lost.
Well, everybody knows that. He's kind of he's a grinder. He does sort of things like that. And look at this. David has flopped a full house. 2's full of aces. Now, Gus has raised it up here. And he's going to continue betting here. Let's see how David plays this with a full house. And Gus bet a lot of money. Wow.
Well, I think that speech is going to get Gus to fold. Don't you think?
You're so full of it.
You're so full of it.
I'm all in.
I really have a monster hand.
Well, look at him. He looks kind of relaxed, huh? Chewing away.
Yeah, pretend like he's not paying attention to the flop.
Right,
he's
exactly.
uninterested.
Ho hum. And it's $230 more. Pot is now approximately, I want to say $500, $230 more to call. He's getting 2-1 on his money, but what can he beat?
This guy like me, he wants
I mean, let's be honest. He can't beat an ace, really.
Right.
Any kicker.
Right.
Can't beat a deuce.
He could beat a flush draw. But I mean, that little speech there, you're so full of it. I mean, that's.
Yeah, he can beat a flush draw. That's it.
No way.
I think he said I'm going to gamble.
I think that's what he said. Wow, I'm glad I didn't make a bet on this because I thought for sure Gus would not call this.
Like I said, I mean, it's always easier for us, obviously, in the booth. We're privy to the hands, but...
Yeah, but it's not even so much seeing the hand. It's the way that David acted.
Yeah, you're so full of it.
Right.
Well, it's one of those things when somebody says to me, like, you want a flush draw? I go... And you look down, you know you're not on a flush draw, but you figure suddenly they are, probably.
Say yes, I'll call.
I would say yes, then.
Last, then. When he eat too much left, that means blood. This is mine. This is mine. Sure? I'm going to fight with mine. I'm going to fight you for this.
And he looks way too relaxed, doesn't he?
Wow, he called.
Oh, man. And he's almost drawing dead. He needs running eights or an ace.
Ace deuce. Show, buddy. Ace.
If an ace were to come, he'd actually chop it up.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, man. I was going to say, he basically did running eights or the case ace to come out there to chop it up. And the case ace comes out there.
Chop it up.
And you know the worst thing? Had that queen, obviously, had the queen been lower than an 8, had the queen been, say, a 5.
One out for him.
No, I'm sorry. It still would have been a full house. I apologize.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm sitting there going, thinking the 8 would play. I'm like, no, obviously not.
No.
Still aces full of deuces. Oh, man. I got to tell you, that's a terrible call by Gus. And he just got so lucky.
I think so, too.
I mean, if you were to plug that into, like, the card player thing, I mean, it's got to be, like, 99.9% chance of, like, at least winning.
You know, if he didn't make that speech before and David makes that move, you might put David on an ace, kicker.
Right.
You know, not a king the way that, or a queen the way that it was played out pre-flop. But you might put him on an ace. But after that speech,
I shot my load right
he's
away.
done with it.
And a little more information than I needed to know, but we just heard that David shot his load.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had to share that. I didn't hear it the first time, so
Thank
you
you
want
for
to make
sharing.
sure
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That was funny,
Once again, we are live at the bike, politically incorrect, keeping it real. Brutally honest.
Yes.
I was actually telling Bart last night, I was in New York for New Year's Eve, and my parents are very brutally honest. I mean, rude. Like, you walk in and they go, how the bleep are you? I mean, they're just extremely New York.
I didn't get that impression from them. I met them on Halloween.
They were in my house. It was different.
Okay.
But I mean, they're just very in their own house. They're very. So I last night I was very brutally honest with you. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? What an idiot. You know, I mean, not personal, but more of they're playing their cards.
The way they're playing, yeah.
So I've actually said, I said the whole month of January, I think I'm going to be like that, as rude as possible.
There you go. Look at Tony.
Flop
some
the
monster.
nuts.
Yeah, flop the nuts.
45.
And it's a rainbow board. And he bets it. Now,
Bart would be so proud of him for leading out here, but I don't mind a check.
No, there are sometimes you can check.
There it is, a rainbow board, and he does have the 5-6. So if a player has an ace and a 5 comes, you have the better hand.
See, in limit hold'em, it makes more sense to lead out because somebody with ace king automatically raises you anyway because they want to see where you're at, and then you can 3-bet it, or you can even there's other ways to play it. But in no limit, if you bet enough money and a guy's missed, especially Tony, who gets so much respect already.
Right.
I mean, you'd almost put Tony on like a minimum of like pocket nines, right?
You would put him on a big hand, but that doesn't stop Sylvester.
He's raised.
He's raised.
Oh, what do we know?
No fun.
Well, I mean, the only thing I will say is you wouldn't put. Sometimes you go, well, Tony couldn't have 5-6. You wouldn't bet 5-6.
That's true, but he is in the blind.
Yeah.
Holding it in, holding it in. Trying to go, please fall.
On. 2 players.
And if a 5, an ace, or a king come out, well, 8 of spades is not going to hurt.
It worked.
And Sylvester checks also. And the river's a 10. That doesn't change anything. I imagine Tony's going to put a little value bet.
I would imagine, but I don't think he's getting called.
Unless he checks it to induce a bluff. He does do that once in a while.
Not ace deuce, dude. I figured for you for a weak ace.
And he's got the absolute nuts here.
Weaker than yours? I was not that weak.
You had a weak case.
Even the turn that brought out the 8 of spades, it's like there's actually a Padugi out there, four different suits. So
yeah.
No flush possible at all.
Figured you for a weak ace?
Tony loves to think forever. You notice that? He takes a long time.
200.
Well,
that's a big bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little less than the pot. But considering Sylvester checked the turn, I don't think he's going to be getting a big bet.
I don't think so. Sylvester raised the flop here. Raised the minimum up to about 100, up to $90, I want to say, right? Up to 100 right in there. And got himself a free card, but obviously was drawing dead.
What is the story? Everybody watching.
And the thing is, the board is a rainbow board. I mean, what can you put Tony on here? You know, is there a hand that you can put Tony on that might be he's bluffing?
That where he's bluffing?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the board. I mean,
so where
sometimes you go,
Sylvester should think his hand is good? No.
I mean, is there any hand? I mean, is there any hand Tony would bet on the flop and then call a raise with?
Maybe a 5.
What, 5,
7.
king?
5 something.
5-7. I mean, even ace 5 is straight, obviously. I mean, trying to think of a hand. I'm like, there's no flush out
Well, he
there.
was in the blind, so a 5 anything would be possible for him to have.
Okay,
right?
so like he has 5. Let's say he has 5 jack.
Yeah.
He would bet $45 into that flop, then get raised and get called. Okay. I mean, but it's not
and then
not
call
like
because Sylvester had only made a
minimum
didn't
raise.
make a huge raise.
Yeah. Call with an open-ended. I mean,
I think it's an easy lay down,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking there are possibilities.
yeah, I was just
Tony
thinking of
could not
something that maybe Tony would have.
Well,
Tony was hoping he had a
Tony's
big
betting. He's got something.
I mean, Tony will steal occasionally, but usually like
I
on the
haven't really
turn.
seen it.
Usually it's on the turn when he's got some sort of a draw and it looks like nobody else wants to pot.
I haven't played with him that often. You play with him more often than I do. So I think I've played with him maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
He's pretty solid.
Well, generally when he shows strength, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
You understand that part, though? That's all I was talking about.
No, if I bet too much.
I thought Sean was leaving.
You against me, okay?
He said he had to go,
Just
but
in
maybe
my eyes,
because he
for
won
what?
with those aces.
doubled
Now
up
he
and
wants to
stayed.
Did
stay.
you find something in my eyes?
Sometimes. How are you, sir? Thank you.
100, you want to call? What do you have? Do you have anything at all? Huh? What do you have?
Nice hand.
I show you what I have. What you have? 40. Looks
Oh, somebody told me at Ace King he had nothing.
Well, Tony can find out when he goes home, but it doesn't look like Sylvester's going to let him know what he had.
Sean makes it $40 to go. He doesn't have much here. He's got King 4 spades.
You say 40. You gotta have a big hand. 40.
But he makes it $40 to go. He buys himself the button.
So you gotta go.
Gus folds King 10. Pretty easy fold in the blinds.
Okay, 2 players.
And Alan's going to fold, but Walt is in there with Ace Queen. And the flop comes out Queen High, and Walt has
wow,
the
that's
wow.
a big
Huge
flop
flop,
there.
huh?
Yeah, for Walter.
No wonder he'll repeat.
And an Ace of
Huge
Hearts.
flop that he's not going to be
Top
getting paid.
65.
That's a pretty ugly flop
Yeah.
for King 4 spades, huh?
Right.
I thought you must have nothing though. Kind of lucky. That's nuts.
So what's your favorite? So New Year's Eve was not your number one holiday. What's your favorite holiday of the year?
My favorite holiday?
Yeah. Button moves over to seat 7, everybody. Blinds are 5 and 5. Action is on Gus in seat 1. He's under the gun.
I enjoy Christmas. But probably, yeah, Easter's one of my favorites because that's a really big kind of tradition with my family. That
Do you do the whole Easter egg painting and stuff?
No, we do an Easter egg hunt, but this is with my whole family, all my cousins, my aunts, I mean
that's
the
cool.
adults. So each one of us has a colored egg, and in each egg, has stuff like, so each one of us has a dozen. Like, I have 12 blue, and then this one will have 12 tie-dye, and this one will have, 12 pale yellow. So there's like 30 of us out there finding these eggs,
Sylvester made a little raise there
fun.
with 9s and took it down.
Fun holiday for me.
Easter. Okay, Easter's a lot of fun.
But I'm not much for Halloween. I don't, really ever get dressed up. I did for your party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanksgiving, like you said, is a guy's holiday.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's definitely a guy's holiday. The greatest holiday of the year, without a doubt. Christmas, do you dress up as Santa or anything like that, or no?
On Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
For Christmas? No.
Now, do your gifts...
But we do go see, like, Christmas lights. And
okay. Now,
watch
your
Christmas
gifts
movies.
to your kids,
yes.
Are they from Mom, or are they from Santa?
They're from Mom, and they get one big gift from Santa.
One big gift from Santa, okay.
They got a Game Boy. The little one got a Game Boy, and the big one got a Nintendo DS.
Oh, cool.
Limped
around
was their
here.
Santa.
6 ways, so it's a $30 pot. Well, actually, it's 7 ways.
20.
And it's a $20 bet here by seat 7. It's John. He's got nothing. He's got a gut shot. And David's going to call here with second pair. That's the kind of hand now. Do you think the guy is full of it? You don't think the guy has a king? Do you raise with 7-9? Because you don't have a redraw.
Right.
And John's going to continue bluffing, but it's a kind of a weak bluff there. $30 into about a $90 pot.
Well, it looks like he's going to put his raise in now.
Yeah.
He is.
Kind of just call on the flop, make sure there's nothing dangerous behind, and then make the move on the turn. And it's a nice raise here. John can't call, and you certainly don't want John backing into the best hand. Obviously, if a jack, a queen, or a 10 were to hit, he would have the best hand. I guess David sensed the weakness and takes it down. What about St. Patrick's Day?
No.
No?
No. I didn't get this. You know what my last name was prior?
Yeah.
Brennan.
Brennan?
Brennan.
And you don't like St. Patrick's Day?
I'm totally Irish.
Wow.
No, I guess it's just a big celebrated holiday. Like Valentine's Day does nothing for me.
No, Valentine's Day does nothing for me
come
either.
on any day that's not a holiday and bring me a chocolate bar. Like, that just means so much more to me. Than,
Really? Okay,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, just something like really small and thoughtful. It doesn't even have to be that. It's just something small.
Okay.
And not on a holiday. And that's like good stuff. Like Ray's pineapple cake.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so Ray earned points. I'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
You realize that all our viewers that love you, you're going to like get flooded with like Mars bars and,
Right.
whatchamacallits.
Mm-hmm. No nuts in my candy, please.
Ace, Queen, 5 flop, 3 hearts. The biggest heart out there is Tony with 10 of hearts. Nobody has an ace, though, and I want to say nobody has, well, David has a queen, actually. Button is in seat 9, and David does not bet again in position. And the fourth heart is out there. Tony's got the best hand here with 10 of hearts. Tony's not going to bet it, though.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
$10.
That's $10, huh? Well, now he's got the 10 of hearts, got the flush with a pair of 10s.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody can call this. I mean, Allen's the only player with a heart in his hand. He's got 6 of hearts.
Oh, Gus, you're supposed to call that.
Now, I'd like to see Tony do this when he doesn't have a heart also.
I bet 40 they call it.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, I love it, though. St. Patrick's Day, I mean, whether you're Irish or not, everybody's Irish on that day.
Do you go out and celebrate? Green beer, all the whole...
I don't really, I mean, I don't want to go out and celebrate. I mean, to me, green beer, I'm not into that. It's give me a good Guinness on tap, I'll be happy. Get a chip count here. Sylvester's still in the lead up to 1,000.
Right.
We said goodbye to Kenna, obviously.
Yes.
John up to 875. Allen still toiling about at 200.
You guys have a heart?
You ever just rebuy in this game? Is that 200?
When you have to, you can rebuy.
I mean, yeah, why didn't you rebuy at the 500 here? Put some more money on the table.
Allen is a smart man.
Not really his best game.
No?
Would
Oh, this
you-
game. You mean this
yeah,
game's not the
would
best
you
game?
wanna
No.
give
It's
a
not.
change?
Although I gotta be honest, I don't mind a game. I was talking to Bart about this. I don't mind a game like this because I think it's pretty predictable. I mean, it's not like there's anybody dangerous at the table.
That's true.
You know, I mean, somebody's actually asking me, like, what kind of poker player do you want to be? I go, well, I want to be the same type of poker player that I'm scared of. The guy I fear, that's the one I want to become. You know?
Yeah.
And there's nobody at this table I fear.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
I mean,
They do play a pretty predictable game.
yeah. I mean, you've got to be
But
content.
most of these
and-
players I just adore. I mean, I
Right.
really, have good relationships with a lot of these guys. They're great guys.
Well, you wouldn't mind taking their
But-
money, though, would you?
45.
Heck no.
Okay.
Poker's poker.
David makes it 35, and look at this all in from Allen. Now, David's got ace-jack offsuit, and Allen has moved all in with pocket threes. He has the best hands. Really puts David to the test here. And Tony's got tens.
150 total.
And if Tony calls, you know you're dead.
Yes.
If Tony ever calls an all in, you know you're
Yes.
dead.
150 total.
Allen doesn't have that much money, though. Well, I like this move from Allen better than just calling the threes. But it's more of a tournament move than a cash game move, isn't it?
Yes.
What's he going to do? Are you going to put me all in?
Yeah, I mean, if Tony makes his call, he has to worry about David behind him.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with the hand. I think if Tony's not, if David's not behind him, I think Tony makes his call.
What you got, buddy? What you got? I say, come on. I told
And Allen
you.
shows the threes.
Yes, he does.
Tens. Pocket tens.
He wasn't afraid of you.
I wasn't afraid of you. I wasn't
Okay, and we
afraid of
move
him.
on here.
If there was somebody
Once again, we're
behind
live
me,
at the
I'll
bike, playing 300, 500, no limit hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5.
So since you're not in here on Tuesdays, you don't really see Alan playing a
I
lot,
don't know
right?
what he's going to do.
Do you know
I've
that
s-
he wears those shirts, the FC UK shirts,
Yes,
all the
yeah,
time?
yeah,
Those are
I
his
see.
favorite ones.
I
It looks
think
like
he's
he
like
got
sponsored by him or something.
It looks like he got a new one. Did you see his new shirt?
Let me say it.
This has to be a new one for Christmas.
I'd F you. Okay, I got it.
The last word is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's good somebody would.
That's a good one.
Button raise. Button raise. 30 total.
And the button raise, and this is really a button raise. He's raising it up with 8-7 of diamonds. Kind of a pot sweetener. But at this table, he might even take it down.
Yeah,
New
that's
player in
true.
seat 9.
That's true. But this is the kind of hand that if you get called, you don't really mind playing.
Especially in position.
Mm-hmm. And it is 7-8, right? We have it
Yeah.
up as 7-9, but 7-8.
I'm not going to call you.
And that's Rowe in seat 9, who's called with Queen Jack. And that's not a bad flop for 7-8.
No, he hits second pair.
And he's got a backdoor flush
Backdoor
draw.
diamond draw. He does have the best hands.
But Gus is going to fire.
Yeah, I could.
And he's going to fire quite a bit here.
Wow, Gus likes to do that, doesn't he? Likes to kind of just fire out when he hopes the other guy
Oh,
misses.
look at this. Sylvester is going to bet. He's going to raise. Make it 200.
And obviously, that's going to get rid of Rowe.
And I would imagine that's going to get rid of Gus. I mean, Gus only has pair of threes, and they're both black.
Yeah, that's not a good.
You know, that was a great attempt. You know, you put out your bet and try to take the pot, but
he's kind of been stepping on it all night. I mean, he lost those aces to Kenna. He tried with the king-queen earlier and ran into nines, and here he's obviously behind again. Just not working for him tonight.
Right.
I second what Bart said, though. Serve him right for wearing a Texas hat.
I guess I don't understand how bad that is.
Well, you know, the national championship is tomorrow.
That's what he said.
The winner is the national champion, the number 1 team for 2005.
And one of them's LA.
Texas is playing USC.
Okay.
University of Southern California.
Okay.
I learned my lesson with Ace Wagon.
But it's one thing if we're in Texas. But, I mean, and besides the fact that Texas sucks. I mean, I predict USC will probably beat Texas by, let's see, I'm going to throw a 52-24 game out there.
2-1.
So 50-24, USC wins.
So they're winning like.
That would be like an ass whipping.
Yeah.
Raise 25 more.
$25?
It's just a sport I don't follow.
Yeah, apparently.
Football, yeah.
No.
I don't even know. I mean, I know that the Super Bowl is at the end of January, but I don't even know if they've had playoffs or what. That's how much I don't follow football.
Heads up here.
Are they in playoffs?
The playoffs start this weekend, actually.
Oh, see? So not so bad.
Yeah, John's got no pair right now. He's got a gut shot straight draw. Sean's got nothing. And John's going to bet and take it down. The pot was about $60, and he bet 50. Takes it down. Oh, there you go. Okay, somebody finally told me on 2+2. Damon's mentor on and thing was actually Knish.
Oh, right,
yeah.
right. It was.
And he was the grinder. He was the he'd go to work every single day.
The guy that played on Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, also the same guy in Quiz Show, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What the heck's his name? Great actor.
His last name starts with a T.
Oh, John Turturro.
Right.
Great actor.
Yes.
Get a new setup here. We go through a lot of cards here at the bike. If you want to play in this game, you can just come on down and sign up. All you got to do is head on down to the Bicycle Casino. We're on Eastern Avenue in Bell Gardens. And just sign up and come in and play. And then you can watch the show later on. We have a new feature that we just started a little while ago where you can watch the show at, I want to say 10 o'clock at night it starts again, and then a continual loop until the following day at about 4.
Right.
And obviously you can watch every single show we've ever done if you sign up for the archives. Still just $14.95 a month. You can watch every single show. And I got to be honest,
a real bargain.
The more I play these games, the more I watch the archives. You know, I watch it to see how these guys play and to pick up tells on them and to see, you know, what kind of hands they're playing, what kind of hands they're calling raises with, and so forth.
Have you picked up any tells?
I have. Well, I know what would Jesus do, and that's the important thing.
Is that what that was? I was trying to figure that out.
What would Jesus do?
That is the funniest thing.
Yeah, Jesus. We gave this to Jesus actually a couple of Fridays ago, and he had, you know, we love Jesus, and what would Jesus do?
Who did these? That is like the coolest thing.
It's like a 99-cent store thing.
Yeah, but I mean, and you can just print. Oh, I thought they were like personalized, like, you know, you could go in there and get any kind of quotes that you want on there. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like if I said, like, shut the F up, and then they did a thing for me.
They probably would, but no, these are.
Yeah, I thought they were custom order. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
I would
but
assume
it's not.
I would assume it's for like the real Jesus.
The real Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you know.
that would make sense.
Yeah. But we jumped on that. Button is in seat 6. A couple of limpers in here. And David's going to raise the big blind at ace-6 of clubs. Gets rid of Walter. Walt threw it away. Walt threw King Jack of Diamonds away. Not even thinking about it. Not much
and Walter's
action.
style of play normally works really well in this type of game because players do normally give the chips. But in this game, I mean, you can loosen it up a little bit. If they're all going to play tight, you know, get some raises.
You have to. I mean, you hear Doyle Brunson talk about it all the time. He goes, if you're playing in a tight game, you can play it a little more loose and aggressive. If you're playing in a really loose game, you got to tighten it.
Because they got too much money with the seat. Yeah, not here. Over the big table.
But the archive's still, I mean, obviously you can watch this show, you can watch this show later on, but the archive's still a great value. If you want to learn how to play poker, watching the show and watching the archives, I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke up anybody's ass here. The truth is, watching over 1,000 hours of poker for the last year has improved my game tenfold.
Yes.
Not even a question.
My game has gotten a lot better doing the demonstrating here.
Ray's here from Gus. He had ace-jack, and he's going to take it down. Well, actually, I spoke too quick there. David actually calls with deuce-4 clubs. And there's a good flop for ace-jack. Flops jack, 10-8. And Gus is going to bet. Well, I like the fact that Gus is betting when he's bluffing pretty much, and his hands, making them look the same. Now, one thing I actually don't mind, this is the kind of table where I actually don't mind calling raises with king, queen, or king, jack, or even deuce 4, because the players usually kind of let me know where they're at by their betting patterns.
I would think that you would do a lot better playing cards, not king, queen, but like 10-8.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You would.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't mind calling. What I'm saying is if I call a raise with king, queen, and a guy shows any real strength, I can probably throw it away, even if I hit my king or my queen. But it seems like these guys give away what they have by their bettings. I mean, a lot of them at least. Button raises here. David raises it up with ace-queen. He's got a decent hand. Walt doesn't play king 10, queen 10. Obviously a hand that can be dominated, and it is dominated in this case.
Yes, it is.
But Sean's going to call with 9-4 spades. And there's a good flop for ace-queen. Queen 8-3 rainbow.
And when I was talking earlier about Walter loosening up his game, I wasn't saying that he should be calling, with queen 10. I mean, that's a good laydown. What I mean is opening up his game by putting in some raises and some re-raises. Yeah. You can put in the raises with queen 10.
Well, I don't. Yeah,
call the raises with queen 10.
Queen 10, I don't want to call a raise there because I'm out of position against the raiser. But the hand before that, when David raises out of the big blinds and he has king jack suited, I have position on the raiser.
Right.
I want to play a lot of hands in a table like this. I really want to play a lot of hands in position.
Well, I guarantee the way that Walter's been playing, if it goes $20 and it gets called, and he comes over the top when it doesn't matter what his two cards are.
Yeah, he'll probably win.
He will, yeah. Most likely win the pot.
Ace-jack here for seat 7, John. He's in late position. He's going to throw in a little raise. Makes it 25. Buys himself the button. And I don't think anybody's going to call him now. Sylvester had an 8-9 suited, but you don't really want to take that heads up out of position against the raiser. Interesting article in this issue of Card Player. Eric Lindgren talks about the difference between tournament play and cash play. And he was talking about in the tournament, he goes, you really, first place means everything.
Yes.
Making the money means nothing. And
to most, yeah.
And he said his strategy, well, because it's money, the money issue, obviously. If you finish...
Some people like to make it into the money.
Of course, psychologically
it's not
it
my
feels
goal.
good. Psychologically, it feels good to last. But he was saying, and it's the truth, if you finish in the money 30% of your tournaments, okay. But if you finish the money only 10% of the tournaments, but of those 10%, half of them you're coming in first, second, or third, well, you're doing a lot better financially than you would be if you're just getting into the money.
If you're getting into the money on 30 of them and you make a first and a second place in 2 events, you're doing better.
Oh, of course. Kings for Alan.
Go ahead.
And did Alan... John raised, and Alan just called. And look at
we
this.
see that, it's ace-jack there, ace of spades. That's seat 7.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's ace-jack of spades.
Yeah, not king-jack. So it doesn't look.
But the interesting hand is here. Now, John obviously can get away from his hand real easily with ace-jack. But David's flop-top pair.
Right.
And Alan has played it slow here. He's just smooth called. Hasn't done the re-raise
And he doesn't have a
pre-flop.
lot of chips, so.
No. And I think that's part of the reason why he just smooth called. If he had $600 or $700, he doesn't want to risk losing that. But with only a couple hundred, okay, if I get a bad beat, I get a bad beat. He really wants to try to double up. And I don't know if David can get away from this here. Alan comes out and bets 55, and he gets called. Turn is a 4 diamonds. Alan checks.
I put you all in. I got king.
And that's the reason Alan did it. Now he's gonna looks like he's going to double up unless David gets an ace or a 9.
You know how much I argue over stupid things sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I said it's just my nature when people say things like if my daughter says, itch my back, I said, no, let's scratch your back. You have an itch, scratch it.
Right.
That's one thing that drives me crazy when people say, I put you all in.
Yeah.
Because it's not your decision. You know, you're betting enough to put them all in if they decide to call. So this is another one of my small
No, I understand. Yeah, exactly.
pet
I'll put
peeves.
you all in. No, you won't. I'll put
Yeah,
myself
I'll
all
put
in if
myself-
I call.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's up to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and Alan actually, I don't mind the play by Alan. I think he slow played it there. Obviously, he slow played it with only $150 behind him. He said, "Listen, okay, I'm going to risk losing all this, but if I do, okay, no big deal.
Right.
But if I catch somebody, maybe I can double
double up.
Where if he re-raises, he probably takes it down pre-flop and he wins $40. Well played by Alan, and he's now up to about $400.
I gotta give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah, we can't talk bad about David because he
brought us wine.
Yeah, he brought the Live at the Bike crew 3 bottles of wine. We respond well to bribery. Notice, I mean, you wonder why we like Barry Woods so much. Barry Woods, obviously, for Christmas and for Hanukkah, brought everybody to the Live at the Bike crew these wonderful Christmas baskets.
Did you get a basket?
You didn't get one?
I got one.
Yeah,
but
I got one
thought,
too.
Did you really?
Yes. Oh, you thought you were the only one?
I did. I
Oh.
really did.
You thought you were special?
I can't believe Barry.
2 hands, Tony.
Well, he brought me mine first and then felt guilty that he didn't get you guys one.
Maybe, or maybe he just got you a better one than all of us.
I thought that it was because I was, you know,
Helping
talking
him?
to him after the show and because I'm so charming.
Alan
Jeez.
raises it up on the button to $35 with ace queen, and he's hit top and bottom pair here. Gets called by Tony and David, but obviously they don't have much here. I mean, not a very good flop for pocket 4s. And
Where is Barry tonight? I give him a
Alan
hard
on the
time for
button,
that
I
one.
think he's going to bet, and he looks like he's going to bet about $90, which is the pot. You know,
Take a little off?
He's stroking. He makes about $70 here. I don't think he can get called in either spot.
No.
And he takes it down. Takes down about a $100 pot. Yeah, he
So
gave
what was
us
in
all.
your basket?
A couple bottles of wine and some cookies and biscuits and what else? An iPod.
You liar.
Uh,
Oh, you lie.
he gave Bart an Asian girl.
Really?
He wrapped her up and everything.
Bart was in heaven.
Yeah, I mean it was a blow up
Bart was
doll,
like,
but
oh,
hey.
that's the best Christmas gift I ever got.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on. You can't give him a live doll.
Right.
But Bart with a blow up doll? He went crazy. Button is in seat 3. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel not special there. I think Barry
Yeah.
likes you the best, though. I hope you understand. He didn't ask me and Bart.
I'm sure Barry likes it.
He didn't ask either one of us for help
For
in his poker
lessons?
game. No. He only asked you, so
Okay.
that means anything to you. $25 raise here with Ace Jack. Gus makes it $25 to go in seat 1.
The two of us, though, have a. I think that me and you think similarly as far as no limit.
Me and you?
Strategies, yes.
Aggressive, tight.
I think we mix
Solid.
it up. I think that
Yeah.
we can play.
Out of box hands.
Yes.
Jack 9-5. Couple of clubs out there. Gus has hit top pair.
Hey, where are you going? How am I supposed to get a massage if you leave us?
You're working in the wrong tree.
Now Sean's got second pair. Let's see if he gets himself in trouble here. And Gus is in last position. I'm sure he's going to put a bet in. Pretty ABC, straightforward here.
How much?
80.
Makes it $80 to go. Pot was $100, so the pot's now $180, $80 to call.
See you tomorrow, Tony.
Gentlemen, nice playing with you guys.
One more.
Hey, what do you come in now? 10 o'clock now?
And I think Sean called. Sean did call. The pot is now $260. To the turn. Turn brings a third club, and not a good card for Sean there at all. He does not have a club in his hand.
I give you 4, and then you can only bring it up to
And Sean checks. Gus moves all in, and I don't think Sean can call. He has second pair, no redraw whatsoever. And Gus has moved in for about $300, and Sean has about, I want to say, 200 left, 250 left. I mean, what can you beat if you're Sean here? Sean's got second pair. I mean, you think Gus is bluffing you? Is on with maybe ace king and the ace of clubs? I mean, what can you beat?
I'm surprised he's thinking this long here.
Yeah, Gus raised pre-flop, so you start thinking I'm putting on a number of hands. He could have aces, kings, or queens also.
Right.
He shows the 9 and he throws it away. And Gus takes down about a $260 pot. Button is moved over to seat 4. First to act is seat 7. That's John. He's under the gun.
Chips, please. Give us some chips.
So Larry wrote an article for you.
Yes.
Where is Larry these days?
You know, I haven't talked to him in about a month.
That's the last time I spoke to him.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to move to Florida.
That he wanted to?
Yeah, he said that he and his wife wanted to move to Florida because they wanted to buy a house, and they figured they were playing internet poker anyway, and they can afford a house, easier in Florida than they can in LA.
Huh. Yeah, because I had talked to him. No, you know what? It hasn't been a month ago. It was about 2.5 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Early in the night.
And
David's raised up. I'm sorry to interrupt you. David raised up to $30 with pocket sixes. Alan called with ace queen. And I think Sean called also with queen 5. Pot is now about $100. And the flop is 10-9-3. It misses everybody, but David is still in the lead here with pocket sixes. Let's see if David continues to bet. He's second to act. And the action is to David. And they all checked. Turns a 5, and now Sean's got
he has a pair of fives. Yeah, David still has a better hand. He says, okay, that's enough. I have a pair.
I'm really surprised David didn't bet the flop. Why not throw a little feeler bet out there?
Wow. David makes the right read and calls.
Yeah. He calls. River's a jack. Doesn't change anything there.
No,
David's going to win this with sixes.
Good.
Got a 9. I called you.
You have to show both
What's the other one?
He wants to see both cards.
Yeah. Now, what is the actual thing? Now, I know if you bet and somebody calls you, you have to show your hand first.
Yes.
But let's say the bet is on a turn, and then you both check the river.
Then the person in first position has to show.
Okay.
In the earliest position is first to
Even
show their hand.
if they were the last to bet, it doesn't make a difference, right?
It doesn't matter on the turn if
Smear you.
All right. Thank you.
if David had bet bet on the turn and seat 5 had called.
Right.
On the river, it went check, check. Seat 5 shows our hand first.
Okay, interesting. Well, the button moved
That's
over to
the
seat
ruling
5.
here in
Right, in the bicycle casino, exactly. Exactly. So what was Larry's article about? I'll have to check it out, I guess.
Poker Tells.
Poker Tells. Okay, well, I guess you can go to poker-babes.com and check it out.
Yes, under the guest articles.
Guest article by Larry Gilbert.
Yes.
Lawrence. Lawrence, sorry.
Yes.
LG.
That's what he has on there, yeah.
Oh, jeez. What were his tells?
Well, he just talked about some
Physical tells?
Well, he did some about online tells.
Okay.
Which
online tells, okay.
Yeah, I liked his article. I thought it was.
Okay, I got to read it. Ace 9-7 Rainbow. Nobody has really much of anything here, do they? No. King high still good, huh? King jack high still good. Well, there's a 10. And that's going to give Young the best hand. Actually, I think that Rowe actually had a pair of 9s to the flop. But obviously no good anymore. Young has a pair of 10s now. But John is open-ended.
$10?
20.
Young's a new player in seat 9.
And seat 6, it was Rowe, right? He was in 9 and moved over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
20 I call.
So we get a call here by Sean. Oh, he has a gut shot draw.
And there's the 8. And that's going to actually give Sean the gut shot straight. He hits it. He's got the jack high straight.
Yes, he does. Oh, he had a double gutter then.
Yeah, and John is going to
An 8 or
bet.
a queen. I only saw the queen draw.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
And John took a little shot at it, but Sean obviously beats him there.
Right. So you promised me, you did say you were going to write an article, right?
I'll write one for you if you want.
Okay. So you promised me today, and I can guarantee you I'll get yours before I get Bart's.
Okay, got it. And I promise you, not only will I write an article, I'll write a different article than I write for my Under the Gun column.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So somebody has to go exclusively to your website to read this article.
Okay. And then I can plug you and say, David Tuckman, my buddy at Live at the Bike.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
And
That actually does articles for me.
Well, there's Mo.
Unlike Bart.
What is Mo wearing? Is Mo wearing like Under Armour or something?
What?
He's got like the fancy black shirt on. A little raised by Alan to $20 with King Jack suited. And Sylvester's going to call him with, what is that, 5-3 or 6-3 hearts? But Sean has re-raised Ace 10.
Go ahead, sir.
3 players now, and I'm not exactly sure.
How much was that raised? I can't believe Sylvester called with that.
60 straight. The pot is
60
108,
straight.
and he's called with 6-3 of hearts. John is out of the hand.
And he hits a decent flop here.
That's
He has a
great.
gut, gut shot,
great
straight draw, and a flush draw. He's going to lead out, but
He's got to well, you got to think here. He's got all the 5s.
he only bet $75.
I got to tell you, Sylvester's hand is big enough to actually call an all in here. You know, he's got 9 hearts plus 3 more 5s to give him a straight or a
He
flush.
has 75. How much did seat 5 move in for?
Looks like another
300 and something? Oh.
But the pot was 180, so you want to look at it and go, well, okay, so now this is a math problem, right?
Right.
You go, okay, it's pot's 180. I put 75 and 75, so pot's 330.
Right.
So the pot's now
That's another
630,
300,
300 to call. I'm getting 2 to 1 on my money. It's an easy call, isn't
He
it?
says I call. He makes the call.
And
he
there's a
hits,
heart.
Yeah. But there is a redraw, and he does not hit. He makes
No.
trips, but that's not enough.
Yeah, Sean obviously had the ace of hearts, but no good.
And Sean can finally go home.
Sean can go home.
He's been
And-
wanting to go home.
And you know what? With that, why don't I go? Because I know I've had a lovely time working with you.
Yes.
It's
Always
been,
a pleasure.
I mean, without a doubt, it's been absolutely wonderful. I was already leaving. and I would say that I'm going to miss you, but I know I'm going to see you a lot.
Yes.
So.
For sure.
But Bart's bugging me. He wants to get back in. I can see him itching at the...
So he's going to make a comment about his guest article. Say, oh, I have it almost written.
Right, there you go.
I'm going to get it tomorrow.
Okay, well, we'll all miss you, and
Yes.
come back soon.
I will.
Okay.
I'm a gambler. I didn't even know that. So I'm a card player. Huh?
Everybody. That's everybody.
To myself.
All right, button here in seat
Randomly
7.
said that. Like, okay.
Just talking to myself. I can't agree on that.
Seat 1 raises to 25. Discuss.
I was really talking to myself.
Mo, we got a seat for you.
Oh, we got a seat for you,
Come
buddy.
on, Mo.
Seat
New
9
haircut
calls.
and everything. How are you? Good.
2 players here. Flop it. Ace 8-5.
Wow, these headphones sound different from this side.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be a little different for you to be over there.
Yeah.
I figure we only had like 40 minutes. So.
Looks like Young, I'm not no expert, I came into this hand, but it looks like Young has the best hand here with ace queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like he still has the best hand. And now he's going to bet. I think it might have went check on the turn. And now he's going to bet
We had 3 of them on this table. You know that?
$100 here. So the check here on the turn. You know, maybe Gus might have been more apt to call this river card if it wasn't a spade. But the guy might have, he played it like maybe he had a spade draw.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's done. It just is one of those days for Gus. It seems nothing he's doing is working out for him.
Did you guys get a couple shots of me over that stud high-low too? I got to tell you, stud
The
high-low.
only shot they got was you talking to a guy. David was calling him the ultimate grinder. One of his friends said he's kind of a young kid.
Okay. I got to tell you, that is the best stud high-low table I've ever seen. People are handing money away at that game.
Those are always fun.
Yep. Buttons over here in seat 8, and it looks like seat 9.
He has pocket queens.
Yes, he
and then
does.
We have ace king there for Allen.
Ace king suited, and he's going to raise it up to 40 out of seat 2.
Walter still hasn't played a hand, I don't think.
No. See what Young is going to do here. Looks like just a smooth call. So we're going to see heads up here. Classic queens against ace king. Now, chances are Allen is not going to hit an ace or a king here on the flop.
But he hits
how about
2.
2 aces? Now, what is Young going to do here? And let's see
wow,
how
this
Allen's
is a
going to play
jackpot
it.
possibility. One more ace.
It went check, check.
One more ace, and it's a jackpot.
Turn is an 8. That's right.
That's exciting.
So
Did
Young
it just go check, check again?
Young checked
oh, no,
it, and Allen's going to bet 60 now. Let's see how Young's going to play it. He's going to call.
Flat calls.
I don't know if any of the other
That would
aces
sure
were
be
dead.
exciting. One more ace.
Oh, the river's an ace!
Oh my
Jackpot!
God, that's a jackpot!
Oh, on the last night of Shirley Rosario, we have a jackpot. Holy!
Allen's gonna get the small amount.
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
They have no clue because it was slow played kind of pre-flop. You know, Young didn't really raise there with his queens. Allen has no clue that Young has a big pair there.
I got to tell you, this might take us to the end of the night, Shirley, because this usually takes a long time.
Unbelievable.
Turn your hand over, buddy. Turn the hand over.
Please.
There it is. Oh, wow.
That's awesome. I don't know how much the jackpot was, but that's incredible.
First time we had it happen one time.
I'm like back here celebrating for these guys. That's awesome.
Yes! We had it happen one time in a 30-60 game when there was no jackpot.
Right. No jackpot in that game. There was a jackpot. Yeah.
Wow. That is unbelievable. And again, look at the size of the pot. I mean, the pot was pretty big there. That is, wow. I was looking over. I was looking over at the cardboard. I was trying to see if there was an ace dead over there. Didn't look like it. Didn't look like it. And first time on Live at the Bike, almost a year into the show. So I don't know if we can get word at what the no limit jackpot
Yeah,
is.
we'll find that out.
But
That's an incredible river.
Allen will get 25%. Young will get 50%. And the rest of the table will split
divide
25%.
25.
Yep.
So it's 13,000. So that's 6,500 to seat 9, and then it's the jackpots in the no limit. They start out at 10. So that means it was hit 3 days ago.
We had jackpots here were up to 100,000.
They
at
had
one
gone
time.
to 100 before, yes. Lately, they've been getting hit a lot, so only 13,000. So 6,500, and then
I gotta tell you,
3,250 to Allen, and then the rest of it divided.
I got to tell you, I mean, if I was Allen, I'd be happy, and if I was the other guy, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But the difference between 6,500 and 50,000 is a big difference. I'd be like, where was I before?
Right.
Where was I before?
Right.
Oh, my. And then, you know, the rest of the
jackpot was the
table.
100,000 earlier. It was the same, you know, it was under the same conditions as we had here.
Right.
It started out at 10,000, $1,000 seed every day. It just didn't get hit in so long. It was unbelievable.
I mean, we're talking about 3,250 divided by the rest of the table, which is
Between
7.
players.
So I'm doing some math here.
7 and 2.
Wow, that's going to
yeah.
be $464.50 each. Well, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. $464.50 for the table share. Wow. And again, this thing's going to take a while. I actually, you know, I had this question pop into my head one day for our producer, Evelyn. because sooner or later this was going to happen. But it takes so long for them to do that. I was like, what if we ever get hit? What if one of these jackpots ever gets hit on the table?
Well, they're going to take their... Yeah, it shouldn't take... In order for them to get paid, we won't see that. We won't see these guys get paid because that takes about an hour. But right now, what they have to do is suit up the deck, make sure that it was.
If you can see the overhead.
Make sure that the deck was good.
Yeah.
And then they will get the driver's license from all the players. So it should probably only take maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
So, I mean, not too shabby. You're going to looking at 6,500. 6,500 for Young, 3,250 for Allen, and then 464.50 for each other player.
Right.
I think we should get bonus jackets.
Yeah. Okay.
Jackets.
Well, I know.
No,
Give me these looks. I know I would like to hit one of those big ones too.
That was a great, but hey, finally, first
Just
time allowed in the
hitting the
bike.
jackpot would be a
Absolutely.
big thing for me.
Absolutely.
I have been at
I'll take
the table.
$6,500 any day.
I have been at the table, like when I first started propping here, I was at the table 3 times in 3 months and hit table shares.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like 1,800, 1,500, and then like 800.
How much does it come out to be?
But I've never hit one. And then I haven't had a table share in a long time.
So
over a year.
So when your table share was 1,800, the jackpot must have been over 50 grand, huh? When you got a table share of 1,800.
It was really big. It was at Omaha. It was something like, what was it? It was 20-something thousand, 26,000.
Oh, maybe it was a short table. Oh,
no,
double
jackpot.
Ah, double jackpot. There you go. Well, of course, a jackpot, a bad beat jackpot, the way that we do it at this casino. And other casinos do it differently. Other casinos have smaller jackpots where you can have aces full of anything beaten by quads. But here we do aces full of kings beaten by
aces
at
full
least...
of 10s or better.
Excuse me, or aces full of 10s.
Or better. Beaten by 4 of a kind.
Beaten by quads or better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, aces full of 10s beaten by quads or better. Now, in that case, he had aces full of queens beaten by 4 aces.
Quads.
Now, the thing is that both cards in your hand have to play. So a lot of times you'll see people get all excited about a jackpot.
And
but
the kicker's not playing.
Yeah, if Allen had ace-3 that hand, that would not have been a jackpot. You have to use both cards in your hand.
Correct.
Wow, pretty exciting stuff here.
Did you have a daddy last time?
Magical.
Yeah.
Magical stuff. So that's going to be great for those guys, 3,250 and 6,500.
And I don't know if you are aware of this, but seat 9 had just moved over to seat 6.
Was he dealt in the hand?
Yeah, he was dealt in the hand, but I think that he had only moved over.
Oh, seat 9. Oh, okay.
Seat 9 had moved over to 6, so it was 6. I'm wondering how many hands he actually played. If it was 2 hands, it would have been different. If it was 3 hands, the deck would have been different. Because
Right.
it's just one,
Obviously.
you pull the card just
Well, the interesting
little
thing is
different.
that I always look, when you hit a jackpot, I always look and see who was away from the table. Because, boy, does it suck for that person who has an out button. But it looked like everyone was in there that hand.
It did look like that.
Yeah. And Tony, one of the hosts of the game, had just gone out.
Yeah. But then again, like I said, he had gotten up 3, 4 hands ago.
Yeah.
That's all it takes for the whole cards to be different.
Yeah.
It just takes one person to muck their hand to the left, rather than the right. You know what I mean. One
Right.
card goes off in a different direction, the whole deck's different.
Right.
So.
Unbelievable.
That's why I did it.
I would have looked at you and I would have said, if you got an ace,
Did you take my card?
check.
Wow.
That's what I would have told
Well, always the first time here.
I would have, man.
Hey, back to back. So what's the jackpot now? 10,000?
You guys neglected the emails
We
here a little
did
bit.
neglect them.
Come
Yes.
on. Email here from Chris DeVary, and he says, when will we be able to view past nights of Live at the Bike? Do we only have the chance to view it for 24 hours? Well, you can view this show for 24 hours, as it's rerun all the way up until 4 p.m. the next day, but you can click on the on-demand banner or the archive banner. It's a flash banner on the upper left-hand corner of your screen at liveatthebike.com. $14.95 gets you all of the saved action. So check it out, $14.95 a month, and you get access to every single show that we have done. Now, it looks like John here had raised with Ace Queen. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Alan's been so kind today. When I walked in, you're really leaving. I'm going to miss you.
Well, you'll be back
everybody.
often, right?
Yes. Yes. don't.
Hey,
think
if you want to
people
play some
believe
live
me,
no
though.
limit cash games, I mean, this is the place to play it, right?
Yes.
The 500 game and the 3
Well,
to
I was
5
telling
game.
David that I'm planning on coming in and playing on Live at the Bike a couple times. I don't know when. It depends on my schedule. and
Wednesday
stuff
night
like
game?
that. No, I think the Friday night game probably works best for me. Maybe Thursday. I don't know.
Ray's here
I didn't bet.
by seat 4. Looks like he's got 10-7 off suit. Seat 9 is going to call.
Well, she might have to ace no kick.
King, queen.
With a 3-8, I call. With a 2-8.
And we've got 5-way action here. This actually brings up an interesting point. Now, this might happen once in your whole life. But, of course, we always want to address that issue. Now, Sylvester's going to bet here. Ace, 8, king. Scary cards. He's going to bet 40. And Young had called with king, queen off suit. We know that's a trouble hand sometimes.
Go with your hand. Don't just draw out on me. Just hit a jackpot, okay? My turn. Yeah, there you go.
And he's going to call here. Second pair. Turn here is an 8. And Sylvester's going to check, and Young checks right behind him. And the river's a 4. And Sylvester just gives up here, Shirley. He's just going to give up, and Young's going to take it down here with the king, queen. Interesting. 5. Again, this might happen to somebody who plays, for 25 years. It might happen once in your life. But it was just brought up at the table.
Right.
Let's say you guys are you're deeply stacked, and that situation came up where you were in a jackpot game, and all the aces came up. You had ace without a kicker, and the guy, had a pocket pair. Did you move in huge for value, and the guy thinks he's going to call for the jackpot, even though you know it doesn't play?
The odds of it happening right now, the same as it was right beforehand.
Yeah, go ahead and break some stuff,
Yeah.
Bart.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, kicking things over in here.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So if Alan had moved all in, do you think is that what you're asking? If Alan had moved all in, would the pocket queens have called?
Well, I'm just saying, do you ever bet huge for value when the guy's going to call you thinking he has a jackpot, but he doesn't?
I was there, 816, right? 816.
Three-way action here, $30 raise by David Kelsey, I believe. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I do.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, not when a jackpot happens.
Right.
But we've talked about, do people bet there?
Over bet or value
jackpot
bet.
and,
Right.
and stuff like that.
And Walt's going to bet here because it got checked around on the turn. And it was Kelsey had raised pre-flop. I think he bet a little on the flop. Actually, I think he checked the flop because 9, and everybody checked the flop and the turn here. And now Walt has bet with pocket 6s thinking his hand is good, although Young has the best hand here.
Yes, he does. And Young hasn't seen how tight Walter plays, so...
Well, I think that David's going to get out with a person
he's
behind
gonna
him.
get out.
See if Young
Most
makes his
people
call.
would make a lay down to Walter.
Walter's bet
after
here.
watching
Right.
him play, but he hasn't seen as much.
Pair of 10s is good here.
Yeah.
And again, you wonder, was Walter betting for value there, or was he trying to bet somebody off of a marginal hand? What his intentions were.
Well, I think that, put that hand in any of the other players that have been here from the get-go, they would have folded.
Folded with
Because-
9-10 at the end.
Yeah, just because Walter hasn't played anything. But like I said, Seat 9's a new player on this game and doesn't know how tight Walter's been playing.
So each person at this table is $460 richer. Allen's $3,250 richer. And Young is $6,500 richer. I got to tell you, there was an instance when we first instituted the No Limit Jackpot, which was back in April maybe? Or March? Something like that? Somewhere around that time.
Yeah,
Before we
it
made
was
the
the
move
beginning
up.
of this year.
Yeah. It was up to 100,000. It hadn't been hit in months when we first started off.
Right.
Crazy.
It was crazy, and then they seeded it because it had went at 100, and they
kept
it
rolling
for
it
so
over,
long,
higher
and
and
they
higher.
kept putting 1,000 into the seed. So then they restarted it at 40, and it got built up again, and then got hit. And then after that, it's just been getting hit. I don't think it's gone over 25,000.
Four-way action here. It was limped around. Queen 10-3 with a couple of spades.
25.
Got a $25 bet here by Young with bottom pair. Again, the flop is Queen 10-3 there, and it looks like he's going to take it down. And he has a nice hand. So there it is. The button's going to move over to seat 4.
Literally all of it.
Two blinds here, small and big. as usual. And it looks like we is a new player posting over there in seat 7. Actually, I think we got a post between. We got 3 blinds. I think seat 5 is a new player, and he's going to post in between, which we allow that here. Posting in between the button and the small
That makes a
blind.
lot more sense than the other one posting one before the button.
So we allow that at the bike as opposed to posting behind in our bigger games, and the button will pass you and get one extra hand.
One extra hand that you can play out of position.
Yes. But would you rather not play one extra hand? 4-way action here.
It seems really logical that you would just want that extra hand. Steve had told me a long time ago, because I remember they did this at another casino way back when, at one of the smaller ones around here. And I was telling him, they allow you to post between, and he says you want to only post in the blind or behind. And I don't know if there was a reason. Maybe he misunderstood what I said. But
Well, John has bet 15 here, and Gus has raised with top 2, and John's going to get away from middle pair here, and he takes it down. Well, I think that you have to be smart about it. Obviously, anytime you play a hand from out of position, you don't want to go broke when you post in between there. I just don't know why you wouldn't want to take a free extra hand. I don't know why that would ever have negative value.
Well, you know, when I was propping here, it really wasn't an issue because if
they don't
you
allow
come
it
in
downstairs,
well,
right? In the green
that's
chip
not
game.
the reason, because I mean I play in this game, but because if I'm coming in to save the game, start the game, I'm
You're always
posting
posting
whenever I
online,
can. As soon as I can, unless I'm like 1 or 2 in front of the button.
Pocket aces here, seat 7. And that is John there in the small blind, limp. And he's going to raise it up a bit. He's going to make it 25 to go. Now, seat 1 had limped in with a jack 7 of hearts, Gus, and he's not going to take that heads up. And John shows the aces. There it is.
I wasn't paying attention. I would have lived in. I would have got caught up with a 4-7 or something.
And the button's going to move over there to John. So Gus has been having a rough night, huh?
Yeah, well, just things aren't going well for him. I think that you're in here for the 5s. Were you in here for the 5s?
Well, I went out there to see some. I mean, I didn't see the hand, but Kenna won with King High on a hand.
He won with King High. What was funny was Kenna was representing. Kenna thought he had a jack, and he bet. And then he was going to put in a big bet on the river. And Gus said, oh, just save it, just save it. And Kenna, thinking that he had the jack, says, okay, I'll bet $10. Gus, puts the $10, and Kenna says, give it back to him. And Kenna turns over his hand, and
so he really
King High was good. Yeah.
Of course, I saw Kenna, we saw him, win with the
Gus
King
had
Jack.
made that call with the 5s on the turn, and I was saying, oh, that's really hard. Kenna could just make a real big bet on the river.
What did Gus call with on the end, though? What did he have? 5 high?
He had pocket 5s. Yeah, the board was double paired. The board
so he
was,
didn't even play the board? Or he just played the board?
The board was like Jack, Jack, 8, 8, and he had pocket 5s. No, but it was only $10. And then Kenna ended up giving him his $10 back.
RO made it 25 here on a seat 6 with ace jack offsuit. And he's going to get called, it looks like, in 3 spots. We got a $75 pot. King, 3, deuce, couple diamonds, and Young's hit top pair here. See how he's going to play it. He's going to come out and bet. 65 here. Now, David's got pocket 8s. RO immediately mucked the ace jack.
Thanks to her.
I mean, one of the things you might consider here if you're David is that this guy from early position bet right into the pre-flop raiser. So, boy, you almost want to give him credit for definitely a hand that's at least better than pocket 8s, right? Unless you think he might be doing it with flush draw.
Yeah. Well, he has only been here for a few hands, but really hasn't gotten out of line. I mean, he showed some good hands.
Button moves over here to seat 8. Well, I was wondering when that jackpot was going to come. Of course, it's just, as David and I always say, it's just another jackpot that I haven't hit.
Right.
Over and over again.
Right. Have you gotten a table share?
20.
I got a table share in a 10-20 game once, which was about $900. So.
It seems that a lot of props have been on a table share or hit lately. I know one of the guys downstairs that I'm real good friends with actually hit the jackpot on the 612 or something and won like $30,000. That's pretty good.
Look at this. Seat 5 made it 20. David re-raised to 60 with Queen 10 off suit. So Kelsey's changing his game up here, and Seat 5 called out of position with King Queen. And Kelsey's going to lead here strong, and he's going to take it down. There it is. And the button moves over to Seat 9. We have about 15 minutes left in the show. Now, actually, when I was out there, and when David was in here, I talked with Yosh.
Uh-huh.
And Yosh and several people who are regulars on Wednesday night's game are not going to be here tomorrow. They are going to the Bahamas.
Oh, that's
for the
right.
Poker Stars thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure, though, that Mo will organize at least a 25-50 game. So we'll still have some big no-limit action.
Mo to work on that one.
Yeah. I know that Abo and Vic Park are in the Bahamas.
Oh, they are.
So, well, that's what Yosh told me. So, but I know that Ed wants to play. So, you know, four-way action here, limped around. 9-5-4 Rainbow. Gus is going to bet 20 here. He doesn't have anything. And David Kelsey doesn't believe him. He's going to call with pocket sixes. Turns a 5. And is Gus just kind of forcing the issue here tonight because he's had a bad night? He's going to bet again. He's going to bet 35.
35.
Well, if he had bet out on a 5, you can't beat that, but David doesn't believe it. He's still going to call here with pocket sixes. And the river's a queen, and Gus backs into top pair. Wow. And now he's going to bet 70. And now when he's fired at you all 3 times, if you're David Kelsey, I mean, you really almost can only beat a complete bluff, right?
You can beat an ace high.
Right. And in this case, Gus was on a complete bluff, but
yeah, well, he was on queen high.
He got lucky, and he backed into a pair here on the river. $75 bet here.
Well, I think most people now, especially after watching television, are capable of firing a second bullet. But firing a third one's very difficult. I mean, if he fires it again, David should know him. I'm probably toast.
Well, it's interesting, though. Let's say the river was a deuce.
I don't think Gus would have fired again. I don't think, but he could have.
And David's going to make the correct laydown, it looks like here. Interesting how people have their own favorite seats, and David Kelsey's always in seat 8.
Well, Alan's always in seat 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, maybe you can come and play tomorrow night. 25-50, no limit.
Yeah. I actually, that crossed my mind.
I knew that you looked at me kind
I
of
was like,
I know what she's thinking about. I'm telepathic.
Yeah.
And there you go. Gus is going to take it down there as David Kelsey folds on the river.
Lights, please.
So I got a blow-up doll for Christmas.
Oh, did you hear that? Were you in here, or did someone tell you?
No, somebody told me.
Oh, that was funny. What'd you get in your basket? You got crackers and wine?
From Barry?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel so unspecial.
Why?
Because I thought that I got this great basket, and I was the only one that got a basket.
Queen 8?
Raise here by...
Isaac pointed out, I got bath soaps, and you didn't.
Bassos?
Bath soaps.
Oh, bath soaps.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Now we got a raise here by seat 4. He's got pocket 3s. 3-way action. It's about a $45 pot. King 9-6. Wow, I think Walter called in the blind with Queen 8. Turns at 10. Got checked around here, and now Young's got 2 pair. And Walter's going to come out and bet. He's got a gut shot. He's going to bet 35.
I think all I had to do is re-raise you one time.
Some of the first times I've ever seen Walter make a bluff or a semi-bluff.
Yeah, and he keeps doing it against Young, and Young has no idea.
And Young's going to raise it up to 100 here. Or he's going to make it 100 straight. 2 pair. And you know what? Actually, Walt...
He has a gut shot
He's
there.
double
he has
gutted.
a double gutter.
He's double gutted. He bet into a double gut here on the turn.
65 more. He needs a 7 or
He's not going to get involved with it.
But we gave you enough of our money already.
Double gut. There were 2 spades out there, so...
This really has been a good last show. I hit jackpot. I do my can't see a double gutter. Make sure you all remember me.
I know.
Well, you know, the funny thing that you were talking, I heard you were talking about the article about David. I just figured if I wrote it now, you wouldn't even publish it up on your website because it's been so long.
I would. Yeah. I'll just take as long to post it.
Exactly.
As you to write it. Yeah, it'll be up in 2 years. Thanks a lot, Bart.
I was thinking about check. Was check 80 or all here?
Oh, I feel so stupid. It's not the first time, though.
I'll put it up. I promise. Well, as long as it meets some, my criteria, which is has to be like a minimum, about 700, minimum of 700 words, and I have to think it has some
value.
Good, yeah, right.
Hey, if it sucks, you don't have to post it up. We get a raise
I'm
there.
sure it'll be fine.
We get a raise here by David. Look, he is changing his game up. He's got Queen 8 offsuit. He makes it 45 to go after there were a couple limpers. And R.O. limped in with Ace-Jack offsuit. And John limped in with King Rag offsuit. And R.O.'s going to call. Again, tough hand to play out of position. And here we go. And yeah, I mean, David used to be just super, super tight. Now he's really mixed his game up.
Yes.
Well, Ace-4-9, Ace-Jack's hit. He's hit top pair. And he doesn't have many chips left. David might almost put them all in here. Or the thing is, he might check raise David all in, and it might only be like $5 more or so. So, yeah. Let's see how much RO has. It was a $50 bet. What does he have there? Maybe 65,
and David's
70?
Drawn so slim.
Let's see here. Oh, maybe it's a little more. Okay.
100 even.
Yeah, so it's 50 more. Well, I don't think that even Queen 8 can call here.
Right. No, if it was only $10 more, then he would have to call. But
yeah.
50 more.
I mean, David doesn't have anything here.
No.
Unless he thinks the guy might be check raising with a 9 when he figures he's got an overcard to the Queen here. And he asks him, do you have the ace?
You know sister, you know yes? I guess you don't. I can answer you. Sure you can. You're allowed. I have a pocket jack.
Yeah. Pocket jacks, huh? Well.
Why are you so mad? Why you answering me? I just felt like asking.
Wow, the guy did get upset about that. He doesn't have to answer.
Tell me whatever you want. You can yell, too. It worked. I made a phone. You sure did.
And then now they're starting to do the, think they take a photocopy of the license and then you sign by the license or something?
They're going to get the sign and then they'll come back again later with money.
Yep.
So, while we're talking about those articles, I want to put it out there because I know a lot of people on 2+2 and Full Contact Poker watch this and have a lot, enjoy writing, discussing poker. I do accept guest articles. I mean, if you send me a guest, send me a guest article that is minimum of 700 words and has something valuable that I think is, I could share with the viewers, I would be, or readers, I'd be happy to put that article up. I don't want articles like Online Poker's Rigged, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But some good, serious poker content, yeah.
Paul was limped around here, and we got 3 hearts, 7-5-4. Not really a great flop for anybody. Turns a 6, and David's got the bottom end of the straight.
And Young has the 8 for the
top end.
25.
And Sylvester is going to try to take this one away. Well, he's got the 8 as well.
Oh, yes, he does.
So he's going to bet 25. And David Kelsey calls. He's got the only heart in his hand.
Right, he has the heart, and he has a straight flush draw, but he doesn't hit neither.
Rivers is 7. Sylvester's going to bet 25 here again.
That's why I wasn't sure if you knew or not.
And at this point, if you're Dave, do you call with the guy behind you that also called?
I don't know.
No, he's going to get rid of it.
No, he's not.
And it's actually a $35 bet. Young's going to call, and they're going to chop this one out.
Yes.
Straight to the 8 for both players. There it is. And Shirley, this is going to be the last hand of the night and the last hand of your full-time commentating at Live
yes.
Fight. Although
all my scheduled appearance.
I know that you've promised that you're going to be in here.
I will.
Many
I
times.
promise.
Many, many, many times.
Well, it'll be. The game doesn't break. This last one you have to share on there.
Time. Can you get that last second
Let's
camera
milk
time?
Let's milk this camera time.
And the button here is moved over to seat
I don't think
4.
Hollywood's paying attention, so I don't think you get discovered just yet.
You'd be surprised how much I agree with you.
And it looks like it's going to be limped around here. 5-way action. It's a $25 pot. Deuce, 3, 10. Well, the dealer said 5-way action. I'm only seeing 4 sets of cards here.
30.
$30 bet here by, looks like, is it Sylvester there in seat 4. And R.O.'s got the nut flush draw and a wheel draw, and he's just going to call the ace-5 of spades. And Sylvester just made a bluff bet there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really have much of anything. Turns a 6. Well, he picks up a draw now.
Yeah, he does have a draw. Still not much.
Rowe is still good with a straight draw and a flush draw and ace-high.
Ace-high, right.
Wow, and Sylvester's going to move all in here. R.O. checks, and Sylvester moves all in. I want to say the pot before that street was 115. Rowe has about, let's say, maybe 250 in front of him, 200 in front of him. So that would mean that the pot is about 365, 250 to call. Mm-hmm. He's getting not even 1.5 to 1 with 1 card to come. He's got 9 flush outs. He's got, wheel to the 4 there.
Right.
Maybe if he thinks his ace is good. So that would be 3 more aces. So it would be about 15 outs if he figured the guy just had a 10.
Make it exciting.
But still, that would mean that you'd need to get 2 to 1. You got 1 chance in 3. So he's really not getting any odds.
Right.
Unless he figures Sylvester's just on a bluff, which he is. But
well, he says...
And he's going to make the call.
He does make the call.
And Sylvester's going to need to catch a 5 that's not a spade.
Right. Or a 7.
Or a 7 that's not a spade, right? That's it, right?
That's what it looks like.
A 5 that's
the 5 is in Rowe's hand, so he has 3, yeah.
And the river is a 9, and ace high is going to win.
That's amazing.
Ace high.
Wow. Look at Sylvester.
He's trying to figure out, can I make something out of this?
Wow. Calling all in on a draw that missed, and you end up making it. That's great. Well, this is it. The time has come.
Nice hand, Papa.
And that's going to do it for us.
Yes. I'm in your seat.
So, do you want to take us out?
Go ahead. I'll just say it.
You don't want to sign off? So tomorrow night, we're going to be doing most likely 25-50 no-limit hold'em. And we're not going to see Yosh and the boys, but we'll probably see Mo and some of the other normal people. This is Shirley's last night here as a regular full-time commentator at Live at the Bike, and I have to say, it's been a pleasure, Shirley.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, and thank you everybody out there, all the viewers.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I had a great time, and all the people in here.
And, of course, you can always go to your website at poker-babes.com. Babes.com. So.
Yes, and contact me through my email. It's on the front page of my website.
So for everyone here in the booth, I'm Bart Hanson.
Shirley Rosario.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.